All right, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We bring you our 1 subscriber special. We actually have more than 0.
Wait, what?
I subscribe to the channel.
Oh, shit. We don't even have 3.
Our 1 subscriber special in which we cover every single mayoral candidate for Toronto. Now, this may seem...
Is it 102 or 104?
It's 102.
All right.
Now, this may seem inconsequential, but keep in mind Toronto has a population of 2.93 million, which is, if it were a country, would make it about on par with Armenia in size, and larger than Moldova, Jamaica, Gabon, Macedonia, and many other real countries.
One thing you may notice is 2.93 million people. Yet some people uploaded their plan via YouTube and they have less than 20 views. Now, I want to put a little wager out there. How many news networks have reported on the race so far?
Oh,
at least 20. At least 20. Yeah. Something to think about.
Yeah, so that's...
No one cares about policy.
Yeah.
So that's a roughly, 0.00007% of eligible voters watched the policy YouTube video. But listen, you're watching a policy YouTube video right now. We're here to give you the facts. We're going to go over each candidate in alphabetical order. Spencer's done, as our Toronto correspondent, has done some in-depth research on all of them. We're going to put them on a tier list, and then we're going to put them on this political compass. In municipal politics, it is not left, right, authoritarian, libertarian. It is bike sell, car cuck, schizo, sane.
Now, before we get started, I do have a couple things to address. One, bias. I don't care.
Yep.
So that's how we start off first.
None of us will be voting in this election. Not one of us.
No, it's not Spencer.
I have generally outlined. Let me just go over my model quickly. The kind of main points that I picked up as I was going through every single one of these people. I kind of have something for housing, transportation, crime, social justice, personal, and then part of my favorite thing was just the vibes of the candidate.
Yep.
Because that's probably the most important, if anything is important, because the one thing we forgot is that no one cares about municipal politics because it's boring.
Yeah.
Even though it's super important.
Wait, hold the phone. Editor, in post, please clip the part where Spencer said we don't even have 3 subscribers. Fact check, we have 4 subscribers, buddy.
We don't even have 3.
We don't even have 3.
I may have sent a few friends yesterday.
Yeah, so this is our 4th.
We in the big bucks.
Yeah.
Chapo, watch out.
All right, let's get started. First up, Bahira Abdul Salam.
She has a really nice website. I just want to say off the bat.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm just gonna take over, and I'm gonna do this for every single person. For city planning, I have hit on the main points, but a little vague. She said she was going for net zero, but didn't really have any model to gun for net zero at all. It just kind of like said it. She says smart cities, but then doesn't really address any of the factors of smart cities. So that's also cool. And then said sustainable transportation and medium density development potentially. It was just all a little vague. Social goals, she said addressing structural racism. Now this is actually kind of cool. And she said structural racism should be addressed because it hurts the economy. Now I like this one because she plays both sides so that she can always come out on top.
Yes.
See, that's why I've said there's no left right in municipal politics. It's bike sell car cuck sane schizo, you know?
Yeah, anyways, there truly is no left right. There's just like people who have a somewhat intelligible platform, followed up by people who are losing their mind.
Now, I'm showing the viewers her website right now. She does have a get a free lawn sign like widget that allows you to order it to any country and also any city or province in Canada.
Wow.
Should we get one of these?
You should get one.
Just quick note to the block. You guys should also consider this policy.
Yeah, as a customer of the Bloc Québécois who has tried to order a lawn sign delivered to Ontario and then emailed the leader when they did not respond, you guys could improve that, I think. Maybe I'd vote for you.
All right. As personal wild card kind of factors, something I thought about. She's like she's an engineer, and she genuinely seemed like a great person. So I thought that was cool. And she's not quite the best public speaker, so that might be something that proves challenging given her campaign. But in the end, I gave her a 7 out of 10.
So worth voting for?
Worth voting for, honestly. Like this is a solid vote. Actually, maybe I should reduce this to 6.
So
too late now. Yeah, we'll go with man. We'll go with
Okay.
man.
And now,
so then
Six
look
out
at
of
the sanity score. She looks same. She
Looks
seems
very sane.
yes,
Yeah.
I think we should not put her at 0 because we're gonna get some real schizos later, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, bloody.
Like
Let's,
an 8.
like an 8 or a 9, right?
Oh yeah, she's very sane.
Put her at like 8.5 for sanity.
I did find her LinkedIn post saying that her new job is running for mayor of Toronto. Kind of wild, but
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I saw someone who had a. No, we'll get there. We'll get there.
so we'll put it as 8.5.
All right.
And what's the car cuck score?
Bike sell, car cuck. Is she a bike sell? Is she a car cuck?
I guess medium density, but pretty vague. We'll go 2 out of 10 towards bike sell.
Okay, so put her at -2, Shrey.
-2. Okay.
All right, we have our first entry on the compass. Next up, we can fire this off before we have to take a short break. Emmanuel Aki.
All right, this guy's got some keynote going. I'm gonna give a direct quote here. I am tired of ranting on TikTok, so I'm running for the mayor of Toronto.
Off to a
That's so
strong start.
That is very good.
Oh yeah. City planning points, government-owned temporary housing to help with homelessness, which is a genuinely cool idea. Social goals, he says he doesn't like how the police interact with people, which is fair, you know? Sometimes I don't like how the police be interacting with people. Personal TikToker is what I have. Vibes immaculate. Now, I put a bunch of points under vibes.
Yeah.
This one you hear a lot. I'm not a politician. You know politicians.
Yeah.
But he's running.
I got sick and tired of the homeless population as well as the TTC services. Now, I imagine this was supposed to be I'm sick and tired of issues causing there to be a lot of a homeless population, but it doesn't sound like that.
Does sound like he is tired specifically of homeless people.
I hope he was not just sick of homeless people.
Listen, pal, if you think it's rough over in Toronto, you should check out Princess Street in a certain Ontario city.
He has a YouTube video, and it's called Mayor Alert with 3 exclamation points.
This guy sounds pretty based, but also pretty schizo.
His first video was talking about how he was going to upload, I forget what it was, like daily, weekly, or whatever, and his second video was apologizing for the lack of uploads.
Okay.
And his entire policy is just drawing on a whiteboard and then pointing at it.
Sorry, you're saying he's apologetic? That's pretty rare for a
Oh,
politician.
you're right. Well, he's not a politician.
Fair enough.
I gave him in my score a 3 out of 10.
May give the raccoons
for-
rabies.
Make it raccoons rabies. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
it's-
like the minimum outside of that.
Maybe meh.
He's just zoomered out. A
How
little
old
bit.
is he?
So you know, it may give
No,
raccoons
no,
rabies.
let me guess. He sounds like he's 45 years old. How old is he?
No,
No,
this
he's
guy,
great.
he sounds like he's 40.
The way you he sounds like he has
Oh.
old people brain decay, you know?
Oh, at 45.
not like
this guy's like 20.
not like Alzheimer's, but like
Yeah.
like the whatever is in the hair dye that's causing boomers to go crazy. Sounds like he has. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Uh,
lead-based hair dye.
Yeah.
I think he's young. He's pretty young.
If he's
Yeah,
pretty young,
like
then
he's 20s. He's
pretty-
zoomered out. He's gunning for it.
all right. So we're giving this guy a high schizo score. Well, a decent
A
schizo
lower
score.
We could say high, but put in like the zoomer type.
So will we say like -3 on a sanity score?
-3, -4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not too wild. Just zoomered out.
Yeah. And then
And
does he
cars.
even say anything about bikes or cars, or is he just
Give him a 1 towards Blake, so that's -1.
Yeah.
Yep, done.
Okay. Should we
No, we can do one more.
one more?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All right, we got Blake Acton.
Oh yeah, this is the guy.
City planning, free TTC, more affordable housing, removal of bike lanes, but he cites that this is to make things safer for cyclists.
Yep.
So this is kind of an anti-centrist perspective.
Interesting.
And then for policing, he says he really doesn't want to defund the police, but wants to do a big review. So this just sounds kind of like shoveling money into a fire pit.
It could be, yeah, revolution instead of evolution kind of thing.
Maybe.
Sorry, evolution instead of revolution.
It could be. I'm sussy. And I'll source my sussiness. I say vibes are about as good as you get for a middle-aged white guy corporate culture warrior type.
Well, I like this one part on his website that Blake Acton comes from a long line of public service people.
Oh, so does he have like cop in his blood?
He was police officer for 30 years,
Well, I think
and his father was a
into
firefighter.
something
Wait,
that one
hold
guy
up.
later has right.
Hold up. Blake Acton just broke some insane news. Let
Oh?
me share my screen. I went to his Twitter.
This is a audio.
Now, are we gonna cover Chris Sokocha?
Eventually, yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Blake Acton just tweeted, Toronto mayoral candidate Chris Sokocha arrested for allegedly uttering death threats.
Against whom? Against Blake Acton?
All right. Well, that'll spice things
Yeah,
up later. I'm gonna have to change some of my vibes for Chris Sky.
Deep state. Oh my god. Okay, wait. I'm so
We'll get
scared.
to Chris Sky.
Deep
We'll get to
state.
Chris Sky.
Okay,
We'll get to
I'm
Chris
bookmarking
Sky.
this page. We're going over this guy later.
We have a lot of content for Chris Sky.
Okay.
But to answer your question, Spencer, he was a police officer. His dad was a firefighter. His grandfather was with the TTC. So they're all just public service people.
Yo, they're just bloodline institutional. It doesn't matter what type.
Okay.
So okay, TTC free. How do we feel about?
pro bikes but anti-bike lane? Interesting.
Yeah, so that's strange. I'm just gonna call that anti-bike.
Yeah.
But he's for the car cut though. He's anti-car as well.
We'll give him a
He's
square
TTC.
root of -2 for bikes, or a square root of -4
for bikes or for
So
So, like, negative
so
four.
two
for
I.
bikes. Yeah, 2I on bikes.
He's on the complex plane for bikes. Let's
you
give him
got
like a -1 for bikes because he's seems to be pro bike but also has some weird ideas about how to be pro bike.
Yeah, just
But also,
hostile to cyclists.
free
overall.
TTC. I want to highlight that. That's not pro car.
Yeah.
That's
That's
anti-car
pretty pro
cut but
bike.
not pro bike.
That's true.
Oh, it's just like a nullifying factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I gave him a 3 out of 10. I said he has a platform, it misses a mark, but it misses the mark on anything and comes out as just like a watered down reactionary while trying to like not get canceled.
Okay, I put him in May give the
Yeah.
raccoons rabies.
Yeah.
So we'll give him schizo. He's not that schizo, is he?
No, he
No.
seems pretty sane.
But, yeah, we'll put
Yeah.
lower end of sane due to some of his ideas. Let's put him at -1 for bike sell car cuck. And then for sane schizo, let's give him like a
Yep.
3.
3. Okay, yeah. I do want to highlight that he's not against all bike lanes. Just a couple. They're dangerous to bikers.
You're right.
Okay.
All right, well, at a pace of about one candidate per 5 minutes, I wonder how long it's going to take us to get through this.
Okay, we're going to take a small break,
Sounds good.
and I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, see you guys.
Ready when you are.
We are back. We're back. Next up on the list is Sharif Ahmed.
Heart of Scarves, baby. We got a taxi owner / operator here. City planning points. Traffic control officers at intersections during rush hour.
Oh my god, this guy's website rocks.
This sounds like a traffic officers. It sounds like what happens in the old world, eh? Like in South Asian countries.
Yeah, I don't get why you wouldn't just say optimizing streetlights.
He was a member of the Community Police Liaison Committee. What is that?
No property tax on seniors. So you know what vote this guy's going for.
Mm-hmm. Smart.
Yeah.
He's running on the ladder pulling up platform.
Yeah.
Wants developers and construction companies to pay for going over budget, which is one of those things that I'm pretty sure sounds good, but then you just end up with only incomplete projects with companies that have gone under.
Aw.
So, there you go. Social goals. He name drops love for LGBTQ, disability, faith, and no faith for all you Reddit atheists out there. And Shrey, I have in personal, Shrey knows the heat on this guy.
I do? No, that's the other one. Wait, are we talking about Sharif Ahmed?
Yeah.
I thought. Oh, sorry, that was for a next candidate.
Oh, the next candidate.
I'm showing the folks at home the Sharif Ahmed website. First of all, I did just confirm this by opening the page inspector. His website is just a picture, like. You know what? It's like if you go to sharifahmed.ca, it's like a picture you can like drag around and stuff.
That's for the kids out there.
Yeah.
That's for the 3-year-olds.
It's just actually it's 4 pictures in a row. My mistake, but yeah. So this guy highlights that he went to a Commonwealth university. I presume he means in the Commonwealth. 27-year resident of Scarborough, member Community Police Liaison Committee. So I guess this is just a guy who's not a cop but really likes them.
Yeah, he's watching them.
Now, what are we thinking for rating out of 10, Spencer?
Rating out of 10. Bruh, I didn't rate this guy out of 10. Alright, let's give him like a 2, maybe.
Okay.
His sanity score seems fine. Just he doesn't know how to do websites.
Yeah, he's just an old guy.
Maybe not knowing how to do websites would bring him down to a 1, but at this point I'm not going to sweat each number. But yeah, it's just like he seems alright. He's like briefly touched on a couple different policies, but just not enough.
Put him at like 2 for Karkuk, maybe like 2 for, or 3 or 4 for Sanity Shrey. Just pop him on the top right quadrant.
I'd say like a 5 for Sanity, 5 or 6. But yeah, I think the Karkuk is a bit high, like 3-ish, the highest so far.
Okay. Next up, Asadul Alam.
Now, I'll start you guys up with a quote from this guy's websites. All sports teams win.
Whoa, I mean...
another thing on his website that he has a table with a bunch of rows, and on the top of it, it says, issues impact budget, then source. And he has this table a few times. They're just empty. City planning. He has citywide Wi-Fi. Climate-controlled bus stops is actually pretty cool. Zero waste or get fined. And cell phone on TTC. Cell phone on TTC I thought was funny because I'm assuming he means service. Because you can already bring your phone on the TTC. Social goals, he says no bullying, which is honorable. And for all you, what's it called again? I thought abolitionist. It's not that. No drugs.
Prohibitionist.
Prohibitionist, that's the one. Yeah, no drugs. His website is a little weird.
His website's a little schizo. Weird. This guy is a strong schizo. I've showed the folks at home his website homepage. It starts with a picture that says "Servant of the Lord." Scroll down, and then one of the greatest contemporary Lord's servant. He claims to be a trainer for strategists in the military. He's done tours around the globe. I don't know if this means he's performed in these places or if he's like been here.
So he's hitting on like a 6 or -6 or a -7 on the sanity score.
Yeah, he's having a rough time.
Maybe this is why there's a no bullying thing.
Yeah.
Well,
I do like his thing where it was like, what was it? Fix crime in 3 months. Powerful.
Oh, fix crime in 3 months is incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Now, this gentleman, if you take a look at the Internet Archive or the Wayback Machine for him, it gets actually quite upsetting. Where he was cyberbullied quite a bit, he was victimized quite a bit, and it seems really depressing. And he has videos of himself getting bullied in Dhaka, in Bangladesh, and so forth.
What? Like during his world tour?
I don't know. I didn't really watch the entire video, but they were quite long, and they had a lot of people just calling him poor and things like that.
Like he's getting like bullied by random people in countries he visits?
Yeah, I just pasted a link for you guys to look at if you're interested.
Overall, I gave him a 3 out of 10. I guess sanity score will say, like, he's pretty low on the sanity score, but we're sympathetic.
Yeah.
You
We
know,
hope this guy gets help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
that's
hope
tough.
we hope it gets better. We hope he's doing all right.
I would say he seems neutral on car cuck bike sell. Like he barely has a coach.
I'd say like 2 towards bike sell for just like some. Actually 3 for citywide Wi-Fi and then some TTC things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put him at -3.
And
Bike
then
sell
for
-6.
sanity.
Put him at -6.
Now.
70 sanity.
Okay, yeah.
And we're putting
Now.
this guy at actively going to destroy the CN Tower if he wins, right?
I think it's based on belief, actually. Based
3,
on-
I think we were gonna do may give the raccoons ratings.
Okay, you give him a 3. All right.
Yeah. And the next candidate,
Gru.
I'm-
That's right,
Gru.
folks. It's the Despicable Me guy. Gru
Yeah.
for mayor.ca. Gru Jesse
Now-
Allen.
before we
Gru,
start anything-
running on a campaign where he may or may not steal the moon. I will give you a quick spoiler. I gave this guy a 9 out of 10.
Damn.
So Spencer, sorry, before you continue, I just want to let Bennett know that he does have an egg cracked open as his
Oh, yeah. Now, which flag is this? If
Logo?
you just look at the top half, I forget the one.
Kind of looks like
That's
Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona.
It's not Bulgaria.
Macedonia.
Macedonia, that's the one.
Macedonia.
Yeah.
Speak that.
Yeah.
Who's
I couldn't
Gru?
put my finger on that when I was starting, but the fact that his campaign looked strangely Macedonian was pretty powerful. His website is Kino.
Yeah.
His city planning has, what was it? Paying corporations to do city work is just like wasteful. The city should just do it. The gardener should just be replaced with a boulevard. So he's kind of following up on a lot of European, like Dutch and German planning with that, which I think is pretty cool and at least a well thought out plan. Raising vacancy tax rates and reducing profiteering in housing developments. I forget whether he specifically said he would put a cap on profit margins, but I do know a couple people said that. Social goals is funding communities and defunding the police, demilitarizing the police, and putting more funding into crisis response teams. And a lot of it seemed to remind me of Ruth Wilson Gilmore, but I'm not 100% sure if he's directly on that or if it just lines up.
I think that's just the general liberal left zeitgeist right now, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
He's generally trying to solve homelessness because he is an ex-homeless bike courier, which is just a phenomenal wild card pick. And yeah, vibes. I love this guy. 9 out of 10.
I'm just a quick question about demilitarizing the police. It says as part of his demilitarization campaign, he's going to restrict the ability to access horses for the police.
Yeah.
Probably because they're used to quell riots and stuff.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
They don't really take the horses out except for parades and riots, I don't think.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
like, and parades, I'm sure it doesn't really matter, but yeah, all they do is just go around and leave shit everywhere. Like, it's.
Yeah, they're not the horse cop thing is not they're not that useful for general maintenance of the city, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
So this guy seems pretty sane, pretty bike sell, like strong bike sell.
Well, he
Oh,
was
I put
cool.
him at like a 9 out of 10 bike sell. And he also is, I think, like a negative root for sanity, where he seems very tuned in,
Yeah,
but also so dialed in towards like two specific goals, which is like I'd put him pretty damn sane. Like
yeah. Put him at like 6 or 7 or 8 even.
7, yeah, even 8.
Yeah.
I'd go with.
Put him
Yeah.
put him at -9 and 8.
He's the
Yeah.
first candidate I've seen with a glossary on his webpage.
Mhm.
So I'll give him that. Where he helps define different aspects of what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Like a strode.
yeah. I thought that guy was great.
Strode is the biggest bike sell dog whistle. He's definitely -9. Put him at -9 for bike sell and like 8 for sanity.
Yeah.
-9 for bike sell and 8 for sanity. Got it.
Okay. Next up, Atef Ali.
I couldn't find anything for this
this
guy.
guy's got no website, no phone number, no email. We're just gonna put him in meh, I guess, by default.
No, I put him at like 0. If you're gonna run for mayor and you don't have a campaign, you're going into 0 and you're not even making it to the chart.
Yeah.
So I just got NA.
Yeah.
So just put him at like don't even enter any numbers for him. They won't show up on the chart if you don't.
Perfect.
Next up, Dionysius Apostolopoulos.
Wild name, questionable whether it's a real person. I couldn't find anything.
Okay.
I see he's from TMU. I got something from TMU about Dionysius Apostolopoulos. Other than that, he's a merchandiser at No Frills, whatever that means.
This guy has the most Greek name of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you say you might have found someone. I don't know if this guy's sharing names with anyone in Toronto.
Next up, a guy with a website, Darren Atkinson.
Yes, 9 for the 6. 6 spelled 6IX.
Oh yeah,
this
I'm showing the folks at home. Atkinson on your side, 9 for the 6.
Yeah. City planning, use existing dwellings as affordable housing, banning Airbnb and new taxes on foreign developments, TTC getting more road space. I'm guessing this means like light rail and potentially bus lanes, but not 100% sure on that. Social goals, loans for retiring in place at home. I think this is just like helping old people, is like keeping families together so they don't have to go to long-term care or whatever.
I think the idea is like middle housing where you can have like multi-generation in one house kind of thing.
Yeah. Meaningful indigenous reconciliation through letting them make parks. I like that.
Does that mean
like
they
that.
maintain the parks, or they just choose where they go, or what is
I
that?
think they like design at
Parks,
least meaningful amounts of parks, which I think is a cool idea.
I
And
don't
he-
know what that means.
I don't either, but
Okay,
I enjoy the vibes.
He's gonna create an indigenous park, like a specific park.
Oh, it's one.
It's just one. With sweat
Oh,
lodges
okay.
and indigenous entrepreneurs who offer financial pathways back to home nations.
Oh, he's a market brain. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
He's a little market world, but he's got the spirit.
Yeah.
He's got the spirit. So we'll give him some credit for that. And he wants more live music, and anyone who wants more live music, like, you're just a cool person.
He doesn't
like,
just-
that's incredibly sane.
He doesn't just want live music from his website. Revive
He
live
has
music.
live music.
Revive live music in Toronto and make this city a music capital as Nashville is to the U.S.
Now he has
Yeah.
started this process by releasing his own song.
Yep, he has a song on SoundCloud. I don't know if you want to play a few seconds. He also has a political cartoon on his website that I
This is
didn't
good.
really understand.
Oh, I understand all of this. This is really good. Like this is
Um,
really niche topics.
All right, good. And his campaign platform link is dead.
Based
So-
not platform haver. All right.
If you, if you want to take a look,
Vibes, it's never been more real. This guy is hysterical.
I highly recommend taking a look at this cartoon. Every single piece is well crafted. It relates to many different candidates. It's like really, really well made.
Well, I recognize Olivia Chow on here, but
Well,
and
Doug
the
Ford-
the cop guy.
That's Mark Saunders.
Yeah.
There's on the right you can see John Tory going after a woman.
Yep.
You can see Olivia Chow. You can see Andrew Fury in the bottom with True North Media putting him up. Anna Bilal is on the left, who people think is like a Ford at Plants because she wants to move the Ontario Science Centre to the Ontario Place. And then there's a bunch of just things going on. So there's Brad Bradford in the middle. There's Josh Matlow, who keeps talking about that's not defunding the police, Brad, and so forth.
Yeah, vibes.
Also,
I
we're
put
in this
it's never
cartoon.
been more real. This guy is hysterical.
We're in this cartoon. If you look at the little guy with he's got like stink lines coming out of his head, and it says "press" on his chest.
Yeah,
That's
Dude, it's literally us.
Yeah.
All right, overall score I put 4 out of 10. I think this guy is like too sane.
All right, we'll put this guy at like a 9.5 sanity.
Yeah, it's like he comes off as a little insane, but it's just because he released a song because he loves grilling and music. You know, he's too sane to come off as sane.
And he has some like harebrained boomer ideas. You know.
Yeah.
But like in a benevolent sense. What are we putting this guy for bike sell?
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out the bike part. I think the banning Airbnbs is interesting too.
Yeah, I'd say 2 on bike sell. TTC getting a bit more road space is like
that is kind of
I'm including transit a little bit for bike sell.
Yeah, but it's not like explicitly.
Put him at like 1.5 for bike sell just to break up this chart a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Now we've got Jamie Atkinson for mayor.
All right. My favorite part of this guy was okay. So this guy's just a tech bro. And
Yes.
one of his titles for his platform is "Honey, I Shrunk the Bureaucracy."
Yeah.
He does go on to spell bureaucracy correct in the paragraph, but not in the title. He also says, "Too many people complaining about not having enough houses. That's a math problem. You know what's good at math? Computers."
Wait. I'm sorry. Do we have a cockshottian on our hands?
Here, no, because I'm gonna quote unquote say something here.
Yeah.
By partnering with global leaders in technology from Shopify, Microsoft, Apple, IBM, Esri, NVIDIA, Carbon Accounting, Unity, others, we can fast track our city's progress.
Yeah. So I wrote here, a lot of private consulting just name drops a bunch of random tech companies. He has a point for elevated bike lanes, and it's all the images are AI generated, so people's faces are like melting off. And you have bike lanes like on mini bridges with no railings, like 100 feet in the air. That's around 30 meters for anyone who's actually Canadian. And adaptive cruise control on all cars within 2 to 7 years. Because more cars move people faster. So elevated bike lanes and more cars, that's getting confusing.
The ultimate car centrist.
No, but he also
social
wants
goals,
ice-
streamlining social services to shrink the bureaucracy. And everything uses the Uber model, but for remote work, it seemed to be what was going on here. Personal points, he says he has used over 900 software programs in his lifetime.
That's
crazy. 900 softwares. Vibes, someone gave a tech bro a website and said make a mayor platform. 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10. I will say that he has some great ideas on car stuff where he's like, we need to implement high-speed rail between Toronto and Montreal to help make Toronto more open to French people.
Yes, sir.
That's fascinating. So when it comes to sanity score, where do tech people come in? That's probably
this guy seems pretty insane.
Yeah, I think it's tough to get a good read on the bike versus car because he's just like talking about potential technology. I don't think it has any real implementation. Elevated bike things not gonna happen. So I'm gonna just put him like 4 on car side.
Okay, so 4 on the car side, and then for sanity, he seems pretty far out there.
Let's give him like a -5.
I'd say -5. Just extremely tech bro. He wants to make the Canada's largest housing factory. It's kind of cool.
Yep. Housing Factory.
What do we put this guy on the tier list here?
I'd say Raccoon.
Might blow up the CN Tower.
Okay.
I'd say like yeah, okay, on the edge of the two.
Yeah.
Higher up there, Anna Bailao.
One of my favorites so far. Straight.
He is one of the most famous ones. This is the first big candidate we've gotten to.
Yeah. So city planning was. I looked at her website, and it's very strange. So city planning was make the province pay for the DVP in 401.
Yep.
Social goals, personal. I wrote this person may not actually exist. I'm getting very big psyop vibes
From Anna?
She's a deputy mayor of Toronto for like a long time.
Vibes. Everything reads like clickbait. There's a video which is just like, I think it's Olivia Chow saying raise taxes, and then it does the thing where it like puts it in slow motion, getting slower 3 times, and it's just like, oh, she's gonna raise your taxes, and then the video's done. So it's like fear mongering, and then doesn't even like give the safety afterwards. She just forgot to do that, and then she has little 15-minute video clips that just feel generated. I gave her a 0 out of 10.
Also, I have a plan to fix services in our city, and it starts with making the province take back responsibility for the DVP and Gardner Expressway. Is that even a thing she could do? No, right?
No, she has to negotiate with Ford and hope to God that Ford says, "You know what? You're right. I will take over this road for you."
Yeah, pray that Ford is going to be like, I want to raise provincial expenses.
This woman seems like a hard car cuck, but also like sane in the sense
she is.
That all like political establishment ghouls are sane, you know?
Yeah.
I think this person just seems like, like you said, a political establishment ghoul who's just kind of like hasn't done anything real in a long time, but like knows how to play a certain angle of the political game.
So she's the first person who comes up in my debates. In the debates of all I've watched, her entire shtick is that she believes that she is the best person to negotiate with Ford and get money to the city of Toronto, which is really, really hard to quantify or confirm.
Yeah, so pretty insane. 4 out of 10 for insane, and then like 6 out of 10 on car, I'd say.
So -4, and then she is not the most car centric, but she is pretty car centric. She was a deputy mayor of Toronto, so she knows this place very well. She is almost as establishment as you can get, apart from the mayor.
I would say put her a little less schizo, because we do have some real schizos on here.
Oh, we do. But okay, from my experience with Anna Pilau, where I couldn't fully figure out whether or not she was a real person based on her videos.
Yeah.
That's where I'm getting that from.
So she's one of the few candidates who has confirmed that she does agree to move the Ontario Science Centre to the Ontario Place and build 1,500 houses wherever Ontario Science Centre is right now.
Of course. Where even is it?
It's
like 3 blocks away from me.
So it's
it's like East Wellington.
All right, next up we've got Jose Baking.
Can't find anything.
All right, we're putting this guy at 0. No numbers for him. Ben Bankus.
All right. I got some shit to say, which I do about almost all of these people. So this guy is a comedian, and he's running as a joke, but the issue is he forgot to tell any jokes in his videos. So, city planning, nothing. Social goals, I thought he was going to start, like, cracking jokes about liberals or something, but instead he was just like, stop the woke. Woke policy is bad and we're too woke. So he forgot to be funny at all. Personal says no one wants to vote for a cop. He's kind of spitting on this one. He says it's sad that people don't get his humor in this PC world, which might be true because I didn't get any humor out of it. He's on Rebel News a bit, and I just said, vibes, Jesus, this sucks, 0 out of 10.
I'm a day one Wiz Khalifa fan. Kush and orange juice. Quote from Ben Bonkus.
There's this one where he's like, I'll replace the NBA Raptors with 2 WNBA teams called the Toronto OnlyFans and the Scarborough Six Buzz.
Jesus
Damn,
Christ.
got the whole gang cracking up with that one.
All bars need to ban men unless they're trans men.
As mayor of Toronto, I will replace safe injection sites with maid clinics. All right.
Yep.
Moving on. This guy,
Yeah.
I assume we're putting at 0 for actively going to destroy the CN Tower. Sane
Yeah.
Schizo.
-9.
He's actively embracing being a schizo, so I assume his policy is incredibly schizophrenic. So yeah.
So
This
9.
policy's near non-existent. Yeah.
Car cuck, just like non-existent, so like 0.
I mean,
guess?
this guy probably reactionarily doesn't like bike cells. Right?
Probably.
But like, I don't think.
I mean,
he has
no,
any-
because bike lanes aren't those woke? I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they are.
Yeah,
so let's-
bike lanes are definitely.
It's
Yeah,
tough
so-
to keep track of it all, but
Yeah. So he's not that not. Should we even dignify this guy with a sane schizo bike cell car cut rating?
Maybe he
He's
put
like a
0.
joke candidate.
honestly, I'd put him at like 8 out of 10 on schizo and like 4 out of 10 on car.
Okay.
Okay, I'll put 4 for car and then -9 for schizo
Yeah.
or sanity.
Next up, Claudette Beal.
Oh, it's called sanity. Claudette Beal. So this is the person whose
Oh.
daughter was pushed out of a building by police allegedly
Allegedly,
a few years ago during the Black Lives
Yep.
Matter?
Just after the Black Lives Matter started to die down.
Yeah. So she's kind of the reactionary anti-Saunders pick of this. She had no real city planning goals, but she's going for like police reform, climate justice, prison reform, restructuring city council so there's better representation around the city, and mental health care. Vibes like fine. It's like I get what she's doing, cool activist stuff, sure. But not so much for city planning, not so hard on actually being a mayor, as opposed to maybe getting the cause out there.
Like, she's a good person. She's doing a lot of good work. I just don't think you're right. I think you're right. I don't think she's like the mayor kind of person.
Yeah. I think it's more like a raise awareness run, so I gave her like a 3.
Yeah, I'd say sanity score would be a little bit higher. Like, where she's
Yeah.
saying, like, maybe like a 5.
Yeah.
Bike cell
Why don't
car
we-
cock. If she has no city planning
Uh,
stuff, probably just 0.
Yeah. We'll go neutral on that one.
Yeah, okay.
Though, if she's doing climate justice, that could be a 1.
We'll leave it at 0 because she doesn't really. Did she have anything about?
That's true. She didn't really say anything. Then again, we've made assumptions for other people too, so
Yeah.
I'll put
whatever.
like
Maybe we'll stop.
I'll put a 1 for car cuck. Slightly
Put
more
1
car.
for bike cell if you're gonna shift it.
I think he's from Scarborough, right? So I just assume people from Scarborough are a little more car-y.
Yep. Okay.
But I'll put -1. Yep.
All right. Glenn Benway.
Okay, city planning, anti-bike lane, fundamentally, I wrote, this guy just does not understand traffic whatsoever. Helping TTC, but only through adding a ton of cameras and surveillance. Scrapping vacant property taxes because apparently some people might not have internet is the reason.
What does that mean?
What?
Great question. I think it was just like a sympathy card where it's like, oh, but think of the poor people, and it's like poor people don't have a bunch of vacant properties.
Is it the idea that if you're not on the internet, that means your house will be considered vacant, and that's how they figure out if it's vacant or not?
Maybe.
Who knows? This guy just sounds
I like
crazy.
who knows? Yeah. Social goals, reducing homelessness, but he had no plan. He just started complaining about it. He said keeping more homeless people in shelters. He's a risk consultant. Now that gives me some ick here because I feel like he's running on like a get the insurance company to infiltrate the city vibe. So yeah, I said if you own multiple investment properties and want to see less homeless people, not have less, but just not see them around, this is your guy. I gave him a 1.
Spencer, here's a quote for you. My fellow candidate Anthony Fury has some excellent bike lane campaign suggestions, but he hasn't gone far enough.
So this guy's like a
Hey.
9.5 out of 10
Hey.
car cuck.
Let's go. Yeah.
So there
Let's
you go.
Honestly, 10 of the 10
Cars.
on car. If he's further than Fury,
Yeah, well, this guy might be the maximal car cuck.
And
Yeah.
then
Our
what do you
scale
think
here.
his sanity score?
Sanity score below 0, probably.
Yeah, below 0. I'm
Not
gonna say-
far.
Maybe put him at like -1 or 2.
yeah, I think
He
it's a good
seems like
you
he
know?
seems technically sane, but his ideas just aren't good, from what I remember.
Yeah, okay, I'll put like -2.
And again, if Fury's not going far enough, that's an indicator we can use.
Okay.
We'll put like -2.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got Eleazar Bonilla.
That's a cool name.
Got nothing on that.
Okay.
Oh,
No numbers for whoever that is. Brad Bradford.
oh yeah.
All right. This is the guy that, from what I can recall, looked most like Johnny Sins.
Showing
Um,
the folks at home what he looks like.
City planning was finishing the gardener faster by making construction 24/7. Cool idea. Complains about a 10-lane bottleneck.
What?
Now, if 10 lanes is your bottleneck, I have a feeling adding more lanes isn't going to do that much. And he says he wants to accelerate one housing development plot in particular for housing, from what I could gather.
There's probably one that
Social goals.
he wants to move
He
into.
says the last thing Toronto wants is activists.
Yeah.
Personal, no real platform. Well, he had no platform. I had to just read a ton of articles. And when people did this in their platforms, I eventually started just giving up on it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't read 50 articles and then try to get your platform. He is a city planner and says he enjoys craft beer. Vibes, nothing really stands out. Just some dude like, yo, what if we made the construction a little bit faster? So 5 out of 10, you know, it's sure. What if we did make construction just a little bit faster? That's a cool idea.
I will say this guy does have a like Marvel Comics ass name, Brad Bradford.
So the
Yeah.
story behind that, if I remember correctly, was that his mom was married to a guy, right?
Yeah.
And they had a
Yeah.
child named Brad. And then I think she divorced or she left him. Something happened, and she went to her old name, her maiden name, which is Bradford. So he wasn't originally supposed to be Brad Bradford. They kept the
Yeah.
Brad with the maiden name, and then he
He
ended up.
became Brad Bradford.
Wow. He
Brad.
adopted the Brad Bradford. He was not born into it. What? Now,
Also,
what's the schizo car rating here?
So-
Pretty sane, I thought.
I will say with Brad Bradford, he's the other big candidate who comes onto the debates. His entire shtick is that I'm a city planner. I see it on the inside. The inside sucks a lot, mainly because everyone just wastes time and doesn't go fast enough. So he's one of those
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna cut waste like crazy kind of candidates who build houses way faster.
Yeah. Like, wanting construction to be done faster, incredibly sane ideology. I'd give him a pretty solid sanity score. And for bike lane, or like bike sell versus car cuck, I didn't see much specifically going either way.
Yeah.
But, you know, it could be, oh, we're building bike lanes, let's just build them faster. Or maybe it would say, no, we just, like, you know.
Well, he's
It's
trying
tough
to
to say.
he's trying to build the highway faster, right? That's the whole idea.
Yeah. He's
So-
against the highway.
But I'm not gonna, as a bike sell, I'm not gonna flag someone for wanting to finish
Yeah.
construction that's already underway.
We'll put him like 1 or 2 for car cuck.
Yeah.
And then for sanity, maybe like 7 or 8.
His
Yeah.
only transit policy that I remember is that, of course, he wants to reverse the cuts, but the other big one is that he wants to add platform screen doors so people can't just be pushed onto the subway.
Good. That's 1 or 2 points towards bikes, so he's net zero.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Next up,
Chloe
we got Chloe Brown.
Oh man.
Chloe Brown. I looked at this, and my notes for her was the Edmonton City Plan of Toronto mayors. Now, I love the Edmonton City Plan, so this is some pretty high praise from me. In terms of city planning, housing first, inspired by real actions of other cities. Everything she does says like, oh, we'll do something similar to this other city's thing where they did well. Better wages and emergency response. She had some great city planning stuff. Urban farming, which is cool. Community-owned housing.
Nice.
ISP cooperatives, which is wild, and more worker
Holy
co-ops in
based.
general for things.
I'm
So
thinking.
Social goals, nighttime. Wait, what was it? I have written nighttime economy is absolute kino, and I forget what that means. And then internet mesh networks, and I have no uphill there. Vibes, so good. Best candidate I've seen so far. I gave her a 10 out of 10. The only nick being sometimes when I looked at her website, it looked a little bit like a medical website.
Okay.
So
What
I
are
have
we
a few
thinking
things I
for
can
bike
talk
sell,
about.
car cuck, schizo, sane?
so here's a few things.
8 out of 10 bike sell, 10 out of 10 sane.
Okay.
Before we go on, a few things about Chloe quickly. She came third in the last selection, and
Yeah.
she also had like one of the smaller budgets. Her entire shtick is that she knows everything into excruciatingly granular detail. Like she's really, really, really smart. Some of her
Yeah.
policy, which kind of I'm not so sure how I feel about. So one of her policies, she wants to build houses and apartments on every community service possible. So like you have your libraries, build housing on top of it. Build a recreational center, build housing on top of it, which
Like
is
build
fine.
a house in the library?
On top
Like
of it.
probably like some level condo on top
Yeah.
or something. I don't
The
know.
one which I don't get is fire stations and paramedic stations. Build housing on top of it.
That's
That was
Well, it's for the firefighters to sleep in, you know?
the most fireproof housing of all time.
As far as I know, fire stations often do have housing units in them
true.
for the firefighters. Like, they
is true.
sleep there and stuff.
The only negative I've had from her from her debates is that her shtick, like her vibe on a debate, is that she's just done with everyone. So she always looks very pissed off. But
Oh yeah, if
it's-
I had a platform like this and I had to go up against Fury, I would also be done with everyone.
fair enough.
All right, put her at 10 sane, 8 bike sell.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, okay, next up, Brian Buffy.
So this guy only exists in Facebook posts of like pictures of his signs and then complaining about Trudeau. He has nothing for city planning, no real social goals, spare I'm assuming being on some like fuck Trudeau shit. But he says he won't take a salary. So yeah, he's just a Facebook culture warrior. I gave him a 0.
Kind of schizo. Sounds kind of schizo, you know?
Yeah, he's pretty well up there, probably like -7, -8.
Yeah. He
And
said he'll take no salary.
that's an interesting policy proposal. Doesn't seem to have any car or bike plans.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, so put
So
him
if we're gonna,
at like
are we gonna assume-
-8, schizo, 0, bike sell, car cut.
now we're gonna assume again like how we assumed for the others. If so,
I think we'll cut that down. I would assume he loves his truck, but I don't know. For
Yeah,
sure.
I'd say put him like 0.5 car cut. He has the vibe.
got it.
Yeah.
Now,
Next
Selena
up, Selena Caesar Chavanez.
All right, city planning was housing cooperatives and general improvements to the TTC. Social goals is better mental health response capacity and more involvement of Indigenous and Black-led organizations. She seemed to me like a social justice advocate first, but I'd like to see a little bit more on city planning. She did give us some, so I gave her a 7 out of 10. Seems like an okay vote. I think you could do better, but you know what? Your vote's your vote.
Yeah.
So Selena was the former MP for Whitby, where she was the parliamentary secretary for Trudeau. But then she resigned from Trudeau's place, citing some discrimination or issues with the prime minister, and then
Yep.
she endorsed the Conservatives the next go round.
Whoa.
Nice.
What? So she's a conservative social justice advocate.
Yeah, I think. Well, I know the one bit I heard from her was the importance of fiscal sustainability, which is fair. But with the conservative aspect, where she endorsed the Conservatives, I don't know.
Wow. I initially I thought maybe medium sanity. This woman's insane.
Honestly, though, like if you're not deep into like political reading and stuff like that, you'll leave one party, you go to the other.
The thing
Yeah.
is, if she's like a big into political activism, you think she'd be.
I guess so,
aware of
yeah.
Stuff, you know. Yeah.
There's
Maybe put
also
her put her closer to 0 on sane schizo than 5. You know.
there's also another party she could have endorsed, but
Yeah, there's an
You're right,
obvious
and
other
it is
party.
more friendly towards activists.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
okay, so I put her as a
Yeah,
3 for
I'll
sanity.
knock that to a 6.
So I put 3 for sanity. Is that good? Maybe a little
Sure.
higher.
Yes,
Yeah, okay,
3
sure.
for sanity is good.
And then car.
Housing general improvement, like 1 maybe.
Okay, so
yeah.
more car. I put her slightly as more car, so 1.
Oh,
Okay.
Next up, Mason Carey.
all right. City planning, nothing. Social goals, nothing. Personal plans, wants to build a giant Gundam. Vibes, execute this weeb immediately, 0 out of 10.
Oh, he's the weeb candidate. He's the one who's like, okay, we need to get the TTC better. How? We'll get the Japanese transit committee to come over and tell us how to make it better.
He has multiple tweets about Gundams.
That
on
is
his
not the
tweet
worst
Twitter.
idea, actually. Those guys do know how to do their transit.
Yeah.
He's been spotlighted by Rebel News.
Nice. Same with, though, that is the same as oh fuck, what was the other? There was one candidate that we said had like no city planning stuff, was just out there to get the message out. Black Lives Matter girl.
Yeah.
She was also, the main thing I found on her was just a spotlight from Rebel News.
Here, I just sent to Mason Carey's platform. It's lower taxes, lower cost of living, reduced TTC fare, safer city, more housing, fight corruption, and then a picture of a Gundam he wants to build.
So good.
This guy seems pretty neutral on everything, if I'm being honest.
I'll
like he's
put
running
him.
for
He's
fun.
he's running as a weeb. I'll put like moderately low sanity, maybe -4.
I sent this other platform thing where he talks about bigger Gundams.
What was his rating out of 10?
A 0. It's just a weeb.
Yeah, this guy doesn't really have any policy ideas or anything. He just seems to be running for fun.
He doesn't look like he's running for fun though. Like he looks like he's running genuinely because he believes in this.
He believes in what?
Gundam.
Gundam. Like genuinely, yeah, Gundam.
Okay.
So I'd say he's more closer to a schizo.
Yeah.
Now, after we get a weeb candidate, let's hear the next name.
Wait. So -7 for sanity.
I thought we were going closer to -5 or something.
Yeah, -5 I'd go with. That
and
sounds
then
about
car.
right.
So he's like pretty pro TTC.
Yeah, we'll give him like 1, maybe 2.
2, okay.
I feel like we need a better car scaling because you're either getting like 1s or like 8s.
Is that 2 or -2? Like bike or car?
Yeah.
For real.
2 towards bike, I assume.
Yeah, so put him at -2 there, sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
got it. Okay, Roland.
Next up, Roland Chan.
Yes, sir. City planning, bike lanes, even in the winter, which I think is good. That's something Kingston doesn't have, where they use their bike lanes as snow storage. Snow plows shouldn't build up snow in front of driveways, is the other city planning policy, which seems pretty cool, but it might be interesting implementing. Social goals, more police, especially on the TTC, baby. More investment in poor communities. I'm not sure if that comes in the form of police. I don't assume so. And food before feelings was a policy. Personal things, yeah, facts don't care about your feelings type. Vibes, mild ick, but not enough to really know. I gave a 2 out of 10. I guess that's like a 7 out of 10 for bikes.
7 out of 10 for because of bike lanes, but okay.
Yeah, and keeping them clear in the winter, because that is huge. But it didn't seem to say much about developing many more, if I remember.
Yeah, so put it 7. Now, I did want to say that cities like Vaughan do have systems that actually prevent the snow from coming in front of people's driveways. So it is very possible in this country.
That's cool. How do they do that?
They basically have almost like a second kind of truck behind it where they shovel it off. It's like a really cool system where it's 2 pieces together, with one shovels plows the street, and one removes it from the driveways as it's plowing.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So where do we put Roland? Do we put he seems sane,
Yeah.
Put him like 5 sanity, negative
Yeah.
7 on the bike sell side.
-7. Okay.
All right.
Oh, Maddie.
Next up is Maddie Charlton.
All right. Site looks like the print house I have written down. City planning, taxing underdeveloped properties more, which is a cool idea, and higher taxes on multiple property owners. Social goals, harm reduction for drugs, and more indie music, which I think is cool. Personal, autistic, queer, transgender, and vibes fine. Seems like, how do I say? More running for the queer vote than too much else. There's just kind of like no mention on the traffic bike lane stuff, no mention of any TTC policy. So it seems good. There's just not a ton there, so I gave like a 3, maybe 4.
So they do have a 90-page report on how to solve homelessness.
Okay, I did not see
Part
that.
of it. It is a little bit vague. I will admit that I didn't really see any in-depth solution, just pretty vague. And they also have a bump in Spotify to and a great set of shirts and clothing that they sell.
Yeah.
They're also really big into using blockchain technology to reduce fraud and corruption.
Oh, you love to see it. Does the clothing look dope?
The clothing does look dope. Like, unironically, I might buy from them.
All right. So sanity goes up with that.
They did write a book also on homelessness that was supported by ChatGPT.
What does that mean?
Do you mean like they like queried ChatGPT for ideas?
They wrote a book using the support of ChatGPT and used it as a commentary on how ChatGPT doesn't understand homelessness.
Okay.
All right. So sanity, I'm thinking like 4,
Maybe a little lower, like a 2.
maybe.
There's some wacky ideas in here.
And then I was thinking for bike, if we're going for indie music, I feel like there is a bike leaning
Maybe negative
inherent
3.
to indie music.
Put them
Yeah.
at like -3 for the bikes, 2 for the sanity.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is so far the centriest candidate we've had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most normal one. Next up, we have Danny Chevalier Romero.
I couldn't find much.
Okay. Next, after that, Olivia Chow.
Oh,
I couldn't find much.
Man, shut up.
All right. First thing first, I like how pop-ups work on her website. I think that was really good, and I think more people should use that as a kind of design idea. City planning, publicly owned rental housing, build houses ready for the climate crisis. Note how it's not stopping the climate crisis. It's just building houses to be ready for it.
Well, that's a
More transit infrastructure, luxury homes tax, which I think is a cool idea. Triple tax on housing speculation, which is ambitious. The one major downside that I had to write here, especially as a front-runner candidate, no traffic policy in sight.
now. She in her defense, the climate crisis is not made or broken in Toronto. Like,
Yeah.
she can't stop climate change.
Like, she couldn't single-handedly stop climate change, but I feel like there could be a little bit more of a acknowledgement on more green stuff, unless I missed it.
so
Because I did 102 candidates, I will admit that I'm sure I missed some shit.
So here's some things about Olivia Chow from her debates to help fill the gaps, where
Yeah.
she does believe that you need to reverse the cuts for a TTC. So she is believing that you have to expand the TTC. She will also be one of the first mayors, I believe over 60 or 70 years, to not own a car, where she just bikes everywhere. So she is personally an extreme bike sell.
Yeah.
And then the biggest problem she has in debates is that she refuses to answer how much she's going to increase the property tax by. And her logic is, I actually quite like her logic. Her logic is that before Rob Ford and before John Tory, how they used to calculate property tax rates is they'd first figure out what do we need to spend in the city. And then after calculating what you need to spend on everything, then you'll do the property tax rate.
That's cool.
Kind of like how, you would first figure out where you want to go and then figure out how much gas you need and how much you can spend on gas.
So are we thinking worth voting for on this woman?
All right, I got social goals, community crisis teams instead of just policing as a blanket solution, better library hours, which I think is really nice, and empowering arts and festivals. Personal things, won't use strong mayor tactics. Now, I highlighted this one because the question becomes, if she won't use strong mayor tactics, does that mean that strong mayor tactics are only going to be a tool for the opposing party? Or does it not? Like, is she going to try to actually stop it or something? Vibes, I just put, seems like you're good, strong front runner. I gave a 7 out of 10. Seems very sane, and apparently is a pretty big bike sell.
Okay, we'll put it at like 9, maybe 10 sanity, and then like -4 bike sell.
Yeah.
So,
She doesn't really have any policy, but personally, she's up there.
Yeah.
Strong mayor powers just means that if she doesn't use it, no one's going to use it because only the mayor can use it.
Yeah, but after. This is municipal politics. What are we talking about? This shit ain't going to change for 20 years.
I actually really like the strong mayor thing. I'm really sad that she's not using it. I want her to use it as much as possible.
I was thinking the same thing. I think if like, gotta get aggressive out there. But
Yeah.
I understand the idea.
Yeah.
All right, next
So,
up.
I'm not going to nick anything for that.
Next up is Logan Choi.
All right. Here are some quotes. So they have a YouTube channel, and the audio quality is non-existent from the videos I watched. Let me read you some titles. Truth. Opposition has to work for God. I'm just happy to be his servant and love my job helping people. Another one. The truth about Logan Choi, the mayor, his eyes are beautiful, lol, blessed Torontonians. 0 out of 10 on my list. Insane, and nothing on bikes or cars.
All right, put him at 0 for bike sell car cuck access, and then like
Wait. I do want to highlight that I believe he's the only candidate to have been a subject of an Amber Alert, where they believe that he abducted his daughter.
Oh, I thought you meant like he went missing.
No.
That's crazy.
He abducted his daughter. He does actually talk about this in one of his YouTube videos.
So this guy might have woken me up at one point too.
All right, so this guy's definitely 0 car cuck bike sell, -10 schizo. Just
-9.
-9.
Maybe
schizo.
-10. Maybe -10. Nah, -9. I got a guy.
All right.
According to Rebel News, he is the most leftist candidate, by the way.
Wow.
Interesting.
Wow. I wouldn't know.
Up next, we've got Kevin Clark.
I got nothing.
Nothing.
Wait, no, really? Kevin Clark? Kevin Clark is like really famous. He's like one of those people who just perennially run. Like, he just always run.
Former homeless man and candidate for Toronto mayor.
Like, he's just always running for something.
His website links to his Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
If people don't have like a website or something that they have a coordinated platform on, I didn't really bother. And if it was like, okay, we've already seen. I've dug into people's YouTube channels. I've dug into people's like Facebook accounts for this.
No,
if I couldn't find it, people aren't. I don't know.
This is his Twitter. Like, I just sent some stuff. He's the guy who famously like ran and attacked some of the candidates on the debate stage.
Clark has been known to employ eccentric tactics to reach the public during his campaign, including speeches while aboard the TTC and rollerblading whilst shouting campaign slogans on the road.
This sounds pretty insane.
This guy's probably like -5 schizo, but he's got like no platform.
Did you see the screenshots I'm posting? That's like from his campaign platforms.
Oh my god.
Okay, maybe a little lower than -5 schizo.
Holy.
Let me show the folks
Jesus
at home.
Christ.
Yeah, do you see them?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going down to like -7.
-7 and then 0. He's got no policies.
Maybe even -8 with this one, with the rollerblading yelling at people.
Remember how I
that's
mentioned
pretty -8 to me.
during a debate, some guy ran up and was saying like how the other candidates were trying to kill him. That's this guy.
Yeah, maybe -8 and 0. All right, after Kevin Clark, we've got Sarah Kleiman-Haga.
All right, so still trying to get rid of those vaccine mandates, people. If you're also trying to get rid of these vaccine mandates, here's one for you. City planning, drop TTC fares for seniors and then later everyone. And guys, we're gonna work together for housing.
Oh, thank God.
That was one. Social goals, eliminating paperwork for city enhancing activities, which I think is a nice idea. Not relying on the police force, but getting to root causes. A lot of people said this, but very few people elaborated that much. And more resident participation in decisions. This is cool, I guess. Like, I feel like we have open avenues, but yeah, trying to get there is a good idea. Personal anti-vaxxer vibes. I said this one goes out to all you Parks and Rec fans out there. Ron Dunn, but if a white woman was an anti-vaxxer. I gave a 2 out of 10, which shows I'm actually being pretty generous, despite so many people getting a 0.
Yeah.
This can get you a 2 out of 10.
She does have kind of like an old school hippie vibe. Like she's anti-vax in like the 60s sense.
The organic way.
Yeah. Maybe put her a little bit schizo, a little bit bike sell. She does have a kind of an environmentalist vibe.
So negative 3 and 3?
Yeah.
Or negative 3 and 3? Negative 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to say that she does have a podcast, so maybe open to collaborations.
Ooh. I've thought that we could probably get some people to collaborate on here, but I'm not sure if it would be like, if we did good candidates, they probably wouldn't go on, and if we did really bad candidates, I feel like it would be bullying.
It would be. It might be a little bit immoral to get some real schizos on here.
Yeah.
Next up,
You're up.
Gordon Cohen.
So this guy talks about making things better together because he's a good businessman. City planning, nothing. Social goals, nothing. Personal real estate developer. Vibes, his minimum donation option is $100.
He does have a kind of like a mid-sized town mayor. Like he
Yeah.
could be mayor of Kingston pretty easily. I just don't know if he'll win Toronto.
The mayor of Kingston looks like him, actually.
I'm not surprised. All right, so what are our ratings on Gordon Cohen?
So there's not really much here. I just really loved that the minimum donation option was $100. I can't even call you insane for that. It's just like, you know that you're going for real estate agents and they might donate. So
We'll
there
put
you
him
go.
at
I feel like it's like a -1 on, or maybe a 1 on sanity.
Yeah.
And then
He gives car cut.
He does get
a mild car cuck vibes, but not much. Maybe a 1 there.
I'd say like a 4.
Yeah.
3.
Maybe like
Yeah, I feel like
I mean, he doesn't really have any policy that's car cucked to justify like a 4.
Yeah.
Maybe like a 2.
okay, 2 is good for me.
Okay. Now, what was his rating out of 10? Like 1?
1.
Yeah.
No, wait. No. Wait, where's Paul?
Gordon Cohen.
Oh, wait, Gordon Cohen. Sorry, I got lost there. 0.
Okay.
0. Yeah.
Paul Collins.
Crypto bank specialist, baby. Let's go. That's for you. City planning, $1 TTC, running more frequently as well as 24 hours. Building a subway that goes out to the zoo, like a line that does that, which I think is a great idea. TTC more expensive to those outside of the city.
Wait, hold on now.
Which is an interesting idea. People who take trains get the TTC for free. Cool idea. And keep the science center where it is, but build another water park where we're thinking about moving it.
Oh, hell
Social
yes.
goals?
Revive Ontario Place.
Yeah. Social goals. 1, we love raccoons. 2, we need police marches.
What is that?
Like I'm assuming it's exactly what we think it is.
The thing where they got like in New York City where the police like have a pride parade thing.
Oh, you know what? It's probably
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're an author, and I said vibes. All good. The police marches thing is is quite something. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but like,
Wait.
ideologies, whatever. 6 out of 10 is what I
Benny,
give.
did you not talk about the Twin City cryptocurrency central bank headquarters between Calgary and Toronto?
Oh hell
What the
yeah!
fuck?
I forgot to
Wait.
bring the crypto back.
A lot of these people need to realize they're the mayor of Toronto, not prime minister. If they win,
Well, I didn't even talk about the wildest one. The wilder one, personally, is champion Toronto to become its own province. Until then get homeless and transit costs to be paid for by the current province of Ontario.
Yo, what? All right, we're breaking this back down, but only to like 5 on my rating. That made it much more insane. Thank you, Shrey.
Of course. So it's like a -4, 5.
-5. We'll go with. Make Toronto its own country.
Province, please.
Province. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And get the province we're in to pay for shit while we try to secede from the province. That's bold and brash, baby. And what was the other thing? A lot of stuff for the TTC. TTC going out to the zoo and all of that.
24/7.
And more fare for like cheaper options. I think that's a pretty moderate bike sell, maybe 4.
He also wants TTC to be 24/7, which is like a pretty good.
Yeah,
So
that's huge.
-4 on the bike sell. What was the schizo rating?
-5.
Okay, negative. All right. Next up, Frank D'Amico.
All right. So, seems to want to win on just being him. No city planning, no social goals, but a Catholic school board trustee, and let me quote, so much more. I gave a 1 here based on being a Catholic school board trustee. Maybe I shouldn't have.
Well,
It just means you've done one like institutional job already.
Does he have any other policies or anything other than
Yes,
being
so
Catholic?
He's also a Canadian military man. Like, he's a veteran.
Oh, okay.
And he's won a bunch of awards for being in the military.
Hell yeah.
Create TTC
Yeah.
Development Corporation. He has a picture of himself with
Santa Claus?
with Doug Ford sitting on Santa Claus's lap.
Wow. Love to hear it.
He's got
I really don't have much on this guy.
He's got some stuff about expanding the TTC a little bit, but like nothing else.
Oh, he also wants to offer naming rights. So you can get something like I don't know, Microsoft Union Station.
Oh, okay. Well, sanity, we'll go with -2, maybe.
Apart from that, yeah, he also wants screen barriers. He can't get pushed off into the subway again.
Okay. Yeah. He doesn't really seem to have any he doesn't seem to have any planning policy besides slight transit expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like 1 for car.
Yeah, like 0.5 for bikes. Not even like a full
0.5.
1.
Yeah.
-0.5, and then for sanity, like slightly
Insane.
Yeah.
Like -2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just the idea of trying to win on just being you.
Well, him, and also that he's he has want to expand the subways a little bit.
That's true.
Now our next guy has merch, hats you can buy even.
Oh yeah,
Frank D'Angelo.
Let's go, baby. My favorite policy from this guy is he wants to put ads on government websites. So this guy was a wild ride. I felt like I was on a roller coaster going through his policies. So city planning, tolls on main arteries. This is talked about in city planning classes and stuff like that. And I just wrote, okay, so if you only put tolls on the main arteries, what about the now much busier side streets? So tolls during peak hours and charging more for parking. This is pretty normal city planning stuff. More bike lanes. We haven't heard that in a little bit. And making sure that they work in the winter. Wants the TTC to pay for itself. Now, what do we say about services, fellas? They're not supposed to pay for themselves.
That is true. Now, I do want to highlight one of his more interesting policy proposals. I will create a Toronto lottery and use the proceeds to fund programs aimed at helping the homeless.
Yes, sir.
It's called Hope.
The Toronto lottery is a wild idea. We love gambling, baby.
This is the official gambling candidate.
Here was a cool one. Creating zones of the city where climate change is just like the number one priority by far. So kind of like climate change building innovation zones kind of thing. Selling off excess government land. Bringing ads to government websites. And now we're over to social goals, which is we waste too much money on consultants and reports. Cool. Policing as the default social solution, baby. So that's cool. That's another ups and downs. Lottery for the homeless or something. I have no idea.
That was what I mentioned just now. The Toronto lottery that people would be able to, I assume, buy tickets for, and the proceeds go to the homeless.
Yeah, like the Princess Margaret.
Yeah.
Youth empowerment zones to stop kids from joining gangs, put them in areas of high crime, and I love how he uses the term youth in this. It really makes you feel like he's targeting a certain group of people in that. Now, personal, guess what, guys? Not a politician, just a concerned citizen.
Of course.
I gave him palpations out of 10. Every other policy was getting another hit and then going through withdrawal again.
So he does want to also add naming rights or sell naming rights to landmarks.
Yeah.
Which kind of already exists in a way because CN Tower is named after a train company. Yeah. So I guess that exists already. But yeah, he wants to just sell off everything.
We'll put him at meh for the tier list. And then for sane schizo, he's got a little bit, just a smidge of schizo energy with some of these ideas, like the Hope lottery thing, and then the youth empowerment zones, stuff like that.
With this guy for the ranking, the best part is it could be anywhere from will destroy the CN Tower to this is pretty decent policy, at least in an academic potential.
I think if this guy were actually elected, he would do basically nothing.
You're right, but we would get ads on government websites.
That would be
hilarious. Is a horrible idea. Government websites are designed to be easily usable without any potential of error for people who have no clue what they're doing.
Yeah.
Generally, putting ads on these would just be wild. It would open you up to so many lawsuits, but there you go.
It would be only a matter of time before someone gets a virus from a city website.
Okay, so how much on the car cuck bike? So he's very pro bike.
Yeah, he is pretty. He is pretty bike pilled. Maybe a negative 5.
Negative 5? I think -7, right? Because he wants more bike lanes.
More bike lanes, keeping them open during the winter. A lot of TTC stuff. I'd even say a -7 even.
Yeah, I went -7.
Okay, -7, and then I'd say maybe a little bit schizo. Yeah, -1 is good.
I say -3. I say we up that a bit based on the ups and downs here.
Yeah, some of this.
The bipolarity of his campaign, dare I say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
-3.
Next up, Rob Davis.
Another big name.
Running with decades of experience alone is my overall note. City planning, landlords need to supply air conditioning. Good, that was it. Social goals, school officers should stop violence. Sure. Vice chairman of the TTC. And vibes, I wrote 3 question marks. You do the TTC, and you forgot to talk about the TTC. 1 out of 10.
I will say, if you go right to his website, the first thing you see is Rob Davis is the only candidate who will stop the wasteful spending of $21 million to change street names like Dundas.
Yep.
Fair.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't change the street names.
Yeah. City, so he was councillor back in 91. He was York's first black councillor and the city of Amalgamated Toronto's first black councillor. So he's been there forever. But he also hasn't been in politics since 1998.
So he's dipping his toes back in here, I guess.
Yeah.
So exactly. I guess that puts him in meh. I guess there's so little policy to go off of. I don't want, but he seems overly sane.
In the one thing I did listen to from him, he did explain how the getting rid of all the encampments costed this. Closing down the warming shelters saved the city a couple $100,000, and it costed millions of dollars and reduced TTC. So
Yeah.
it does show some kind of like sanity over there around that.
Yeah, I'd say like 8 sanity, honestly. This guy, from what I gathered, just seemed very sane.
But like nothing there.
But there's just, he's running with decades of experience and nothing else.
Maybe negative 0.5 on the bike cell axis, just because like he was working for the TTC at some point, right?
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Philip de Cruz.
Visual platform hype machine I have. Okay, city planning. I forget what this means. Oh wait, visual platform, because he did the drawings.
Oh yes, this guy.
Yeah. Okay, city planning. Fines to landlords who don't repair houses. Cool. 20% reduction in rent, and you're not allowed to change it for 3 years. This is a wild policy. Using empty land for housing. Cool. Firing high position TTC employees. This one always works out. Firing high position employees is almost always way more expensive. And then replacing some gas stations with bike stations. Social goals, bike cafes. Social goals, distributing wasted food, more youth involvement in the government. I think that's an interesting idea. Personal knows at least the basics of apparently 52 languages.
Okay, this guy's giving some benign schizo energy with the drawings.
I gave vibes lovely just because of the bike cafes. I want to chill at a bike cafe. 3 out of 10.
He also has one. I think the only candidate with a bike podcast.
Okay, so we're getting a negative 10 here for the bike.
Yeah, this guy's extremely bike pilled. Might be the most of any candidate we've seen.
Yeah.
Negative 10 on the bike cell access, and then for schizo, he's a little bit schizo in a benign sense. He's not screaming at strangers, but he is crazy.
So like -3, I'd say.
Yeah. 52 languages in bike cafes is
All right, next up, Samson Deb.
All right, this guy has in his LinkedIn bio Toronto's next mayor.
Yes, sir.
He does not have a website I could find.
His website, linked from the Toronto website for candidate list, gives you a secure connection failed and then an error code I have never seen before, which is PR end of file error, which I assume means like just like a fucked up HTML file or something.
Wow.
So I do have his platform if you guys are interested.
Okay.
Sure.
Here's a platform. I'll read out loud for anyone. It's roadways expansion improvement, a minimum of 2 lanes on every single major road.
Okay. Hardcore car cuck.
Yeah.
Parking expansion, free TTC, new police division just for transit. This is my favorite one. Point number 3 is John Tory tribute campaign. Aggressively seek his continued participation as a private consultant with the city.
He's a John Tory.
He wants to add a more private consultancy given the ongoing scandals of
John Tory.
Truddy.
Well, I love the fact he says aggressively seek his continued participation.
Gun to his head, John Tory, you will be a consultant.
This guy's like a John Tory bootlicker. Like he kneels at a shrine to John Tory.
Free underground sleeping with hundreds of beds underneath the Queen subway. And new technology park, accessible city, green industry hub.
Okay, we'll give this guy like a 2 or 3 out of 10.
For what?
For just general quality. 1 or 2 maybe.
Let's give him like a 2.
Yeah, the sane schizo axis. He is a little bit schizo, a little bit car cucked. Give him like -2 and 2.
He's pretty car cucked.
I mean, he also has like bike lane expansion and like building housing in the TTC or something. Is that what he was doing? Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I guess he is very car cucked, but also has some balancing power. He's just overall a very high energy, low number in that scale.
Okay, so we'll put negative. So I'll put slightly car cucked, so 2.
Yeah.
And then I'll put slightly schizo, so -2. Kind of like in a benign sense with the entire
Yeah.
John Tory thing and
Yeah.
whatnot.
He's
And the
just obsessed-
website,
he's
like,
au-
he
he's
couldn't
just aut-
figure out his website.
He's just autistic for John Tory, it seems.
Yeah.
Habiba Desai.
City planning, didn't see anything.
you
Social
missed one.
goals. This was a funny one. High school students looking to learn about civilized guerrilla warfare using non-violent techniques of drama and music. So I said, like, this sounds revolutionary, but you're making revolution non-violent. Like, come on. Come on. Personal, generally just grew up and got into politics. 0 out of 10. Pretty damn insane.
He's the
Yeah, her
one
website is crazy.
He's the one who wants the Toronto to run an internal World Cup, and then all the money is going to like a private training camp for some people.
Wow.
That's on her
We're
website.
going to become the soccer capital of Toronto.
Now she does have a lot of stuff about French. There's tons of French on this website.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah. Take a look at the, if you can, Bennett, for the folks at home, keep at this link and take a look at the bottom part and how all the funds will be used to go
this
to
is the woman who
open-
wants the Toronto World Cup.
Yeah, she wants to open a world-class MMA club led by Khabib, the famous
Yeah, I know that guy,
Yeah. So he just wants to funnel money.
Khabib.
Does Khabib
Who is, I'm sure, in
Nurmagomedov-
love with Toronto.
Does Khabib know about this? He can't, right?
I don't know. Like, if you look at the link, it's a legitimate link. And there's Khabib, and it is in Canada. So
That's crazy.
This is
so
that's hilarious. Okay. Every country is represented in Toronto. We can host our own World Cup annually, which is more inclusive and less corrupt than FIFA. This World Cup will become the world's #1 tourism event and make Toronto the world's annual summer tourism destination.
All right, we're going for sanity -8.
Yeah. No
Me-
bike or car thing at all here.
Yeah.
it's a video. Oh.
Put her at like -8.5 sanity, 0 bike, sell car cock. Like, she wants to make the World Cup Toronto. Like,
Sorry, how much is the sanity?
She's the all sports teams win.
yeah.
What's the sanity? Negative
Somehow related to guerrilla warfare.
-7.
Negative 8.5 sanity.
-8.5.
Okay, and then Karka, she doesn't want TDC to be free.
1.
Her entire other shtick is that she is also super. She keeps saying that she lived in Jack Layton's riding, and that really informed her politics.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting
So, there you
take.
go.
Next up, Corey
Oh.
DeVille.
Oh, this is the Sigma grind set pick, but
Oh my god.
in a interesting
Sigma
spin.
grind set.
His website is insane.
It goes so
Can we
hard.
throat punch politics, or is that toxic in 2023? Is what I have written down.
It's actually
City
so
planning, 0 TTC fair. He cites a bunch of laughably bad math and then just calls the math drunk. Social goals, non-violent police de-escalation units, and promotion of fitness and minimum living standards to reduce the healthcare burden. And then, yeah, just looks like a Sigma grind setter. I gave him like a 2 out of 10. A 2 out of 10? Yeah, maybe even 3.
Honestly, the website goes so hard, and it is
The
part of
website's insanely hard.
become an official member of the DeVille Party of Canada, Parti de Ville du Canada. And
Yeah.
He has like his own political party, I'm hearing.
Yeah, he's a king.
All right. This guy's hilarious. A little bit schizo.
a little bit.
A little bit schizo.
You're only saying that because you don't want him to throat punch you.
Yeah, I don't want him to throat punch me with his watch. There's a picture of his on the website where he's just holding out the watch to your face. Maybe put him at like -5 schizo,
Okay.
and then like -1 bike sell because he does have the thing about TTC being free, right?
He has as well. I'd say even up to 3 for bike sell because of him wanting to promote fitness a lot. Maybe that's two.
Yeah.
But I feel like promotion of fitness is like it cannot go with car sell. It eliminates a lot of car cucking.
Yeah.
Take a look at
And by default shifts you a decent amount towards.
Take a
Maybe
look
put him
at
at -3 bike sell.
So if you look at his blog, he actually does have quite a few things about that, about like TTC stuff, like TTC versus mental health and everything. Also, take a quick peek at his team. His team's pretty wild.
His team. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Anyways, let's move on. Up next, we've got Simran Fenby.
Simran Fenties, I couldn't find anything.
Okay.
She's a child model.
Next up
Okay.
is Monica Forrester.
No website, but did have some reports, so I couldn't find city planning or social goals. I did find that apparently she was active. Two Spirit and Trans does a lot of queer events, and from what I gathered from people, was like a good time when she did whatever she was doing. I just couldn't find it, so I gave like a 1 out of 10 on a maybe.
Yeah, I don't think we can really give her any numbers on the scale or on the axes because she doesn't really have anything going on. Now to the main event.
Oh no.
Anthony Fury.
Okay. City planning, removal of bike lanes, and ending the land transfer tax. Social goals, more policing, ending safe injection and drug use, and just kicking the homeless out of parks. A big Jordan Peterson guy. I wrote for this. I wrote a paragraph here. Vibes. Might be one of the worst platforms I've seen. It is all actively bad, actively hostile to humans on every front. I'd like to call it a joke, but the funniest part of this is that it's not. The reality of such a shit platform existing and getting the votes it gets is funnier than any joke that I could make about it. If your goal is to maximize suffering, this is your choice. 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
I will say so.
He is the Theory Night in Canada unapproved candidate. Do not vote for Anthony Fury.
Yeah.
So from the Zoomer Hall debate, and Spencer, I need your help with this. From the Zoomer Hall debate, Anthony Fury explained that the City of Toronto is giving out to homeless people City of Toronto official crack pipes, where the City of Toronto is on the crack pipe itself, like a little emblem.
Yeah.
That sounds like it goes insanely hard.
Yeah, I want a City of Toronto official crack pipe. If one of our 4 subscribers can source us a City of Toronto official crack pipe, I will pay you. Please reach out in the comments. We will read every comment because there are bound to be 0.
Now, yeah, this guy is not necessarily a schizo. He's just not a good candidate.
I'd say like he's one of those like insane guys.
Yeah.
Where it's like his actual like the core of his beliefs are insane, but his delivery and all of that is pretty sane. Yeah. So maybe -5 on sanity.
I would say put him closer to
10
0
on car.
I would put him closer to 0 on sanity, like maybe -2 or 1.
Yeah,
but definitely like a 9.5 on car cuck, only because there is someone who has said he doesn't go far enough. Right.
That is true.
Yeah. I say put him at least somewhat in the negatives for sanity because his policies are insane.
Yeah.
I'd say -2. Yeah.
He's
knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's very negative.
He's not like
he's playing the game and he's able to play the game effectively, unlike some people on here who are much more insane, who we will be getting to soon.
He did have the fastest and quickest acceleration in the polls, where he went from like 0% to 10% in like 2 weeks.
Could you imagine being Chloe Brown, putting all this work in, learning everything, and then the polls come out and Anthony Fury is the fastest rising person running? Like, I can't imagine the pain.
Yeah, no, it's really messed up. I'll share with the poll later on, but it's like, it's kind of messed up how in the polls he just exploded.
Yeah.
Anyways, next up is Scott Furnival. Anything on this guy?
I couldn't find anything.
All right. After that, we got Isabella Gampk.
Okay, so nothing in city planning. It seems like they're like an active protester on favor of the homeless and stuff like that. Trans woman, I believe. I didn't write it down. Converting at 56.
I am a
So
disabled
that's
trans woman. Yes.
that's a long time. Congrats for finally getting around to it. Vibes don't have much to run off, but seems like a real one. 1 out of 10. I don't think we can rank anything else.
Oh, this person. Yeah. There wasn't much there.
Does
Eh?
she have any
Yeah.
like platform that we could put schizo car cuck stuff on, or
Nothing really.
Nothing.
I don't think we can.
okay?
What's the poof thing that she started? She started something called poof.
Not sure.
It's some. It's like a protecting ODSP OW funding.
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah.
the big poof person.
Okay.
That's what I had.
All right. Next up, we got Feng.
Wait. What should I put on her? So,
Don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about the schizo car one for this one. She doesn't really have a platform, right?
Okay.
There's no point. Next up is Feng Gao.
Now, this is one of my favorites right here. So I found a picture
Oh.
where there's like a little sheet of cardboard, I think it was, and written on it looked like it said free TTC. So I'm taking that as policy, meaning free TTC. Social goals, no election. This is a quote. No election, more erections. Sexy at work, juicy in bed, keep in touchy, power to pussy, P2P, as well as thinks Olivia Chow is a terrorist. Vibes, I wrote terrifying in parentheses, funny. 0 out of 10. This is my 10 out of 10 insane candidate.
He is. So he is also extremely. What's he called? He is extremely anti-vax. He is also extremely anti-China, and he does
Yeah.
have this fantastic picture of Santa Claus that I think goes really hard.
Oh! What? What? Wait, Gauzy coin? Does he have his own crypto?
Oh, probably.
I need gaozicoin.ca. And his Twitter handle is Feng Gao against elections. Yeah,
He does
I'm thinking
like-
based. This guy's got no car policy, no bike policy. Just put him at -10, 0.
Yeah, he says Google Hap to. Oh my God, Bennett.
What?
No way.
What did he say?
Look at this tweet.
Okay.
This is an inside joke, but look at what he's saying to Google.
Oh my god.
Yo!
That one's not for the folks at home. Alright, next up we got Xiao Hua Gong.
Wait, so
All
sorry,
right.
-10, right?
Yeah.
This guy, Gong, is notable because he had the first signs on the streets and they were all big. I'm assuming this means he's got some shmoney. It seems to have come through crypto, and I think he's going to outperform expectations just because of that alone. He has free TTC for old and young people, and $1,000 less in taxes per property. I don't really know how this stacks up in the real world as a general rent sell for most of my time so far. Social goals, lunch subsidies, more police in schools and on the TTC. He's a huge Web3 guy, like a huge Web3 guy. I think he had something where it's like cities' funding should come from like crypto investments or something somewhere, which is just crazy.
That is
But
insane.
I forget exactly
That-
where it is, so I might be misquoting slightly on that.
Now he has a
So
timeline.
vibes, I wrote atrocious, 0 to 10.
The timeline on he has a timeline on his website that like shows his achievements over time. He founded the Canadian National Television and Canadian National Chinese Television. He doesn't say what those are, just that he founded them.
Nice.
He's done a bunch of e-commerce stuff, and in 2022 he quote founded the Harvard Metaverse Direct Sales e-commerce company, becoming the world's first founder to integrate the direct sales concept into Web 3.0 decentralized technology. What does that mean?
So this guy essentially just made his money in the crypto boom when a ton of people were pouring money into crypto. and then probably got at least a good enough chunk out before everyone realized, wait a second, there's nothing here. Like, Decentraland is just dead. No one's using crypto for its actual uses. It's just to try to grow their money. But he seems to have made a decent living for himself and wants to bring that living to Toronto.
So we don't know how much money he has made, but what we do know is that he was charged by the Ontario Securities Commission for fraud, and he was convicted. His company was convicted for about fine for $1 million in order to forfeit $15 million to the Canadian Revenue Agency, and over $60 million to the New Zealand government due to creating some different pyramid schemes.
Nice. So yeah, he's in for the scam.
He's a scam artist. All right, put
This guy is one for the scammers. If you want to be a scammer, we could make Toronto scam.
Put him like -6 schizo, and then for bike sell car cuck, what are we thinking?
Not enough here really.
Well, yeah.
So just 0. Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Adil Goraya.
City planning. All neighborhoods in Toronto will at least need to have some affordable housing, and a tax on ultra luxury housing. I'm not sure if that's an official term or whether it's something he plans on defining. Social goals seems like he's running on a tough on crime attitude, and he's a lawyer and he's repping it. He's doing this for his daughter. Vibes, nothing notable. I gave him like a 3.
Okay. Yeah, he does have some public safety policies, and he does want to propose an anchor into Eglinton LRT. But it's kind of hard to, there isn't much past that.
Is he like? I guess he's sane, and he's got not much else going on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
He's a guy.
But maybe put him like 5 sanity, and then like 0 bike sell car cuck. Just the opposite of the guy we just did, basically.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Brian Graff.
City planning, ending waterfront privatization, stopping some transit developments, replacing the city plan, which I'm fine with because I don't like the vibes of the Toronto city plan. And then reviewing bike lanes, which is just kind of a sigh from me because that means he's just trying to stall and trying to delay them. It's essentially just reviewing it is just stopping it. Social goals, full employment, closer to a kind of jobs guarantee, more economic equality. This guy included a reading list in his website, which included Hajun Chang, Piketty, Michael Hudson, and a few others. Generally seemed like a kind of cool economics head guy, and had a very HTML website. I gave him a 6. Seems like a smart enough guy, has some fine ideas, or at least any ideas all around.
So from what I remember about this guy is that he wanted to run for the NDP, but the NDP refused to allow him to run due to issues around immigration.
Okay. Fire bureaucrats who do not respect citizens, starting with the planning department experts who impose their own ideology on planning decisions instead of merely providing information to council. I think this guy is pretty sane, moderately car-cucked.
Yeah, here you go. NDP leadership hopeful Brian Graff takes part in court after they block his candidacy.
Yeah.
Oh wait, here's a weird idea. Review existing bike lanes and find other ways to ease congestion, such as reducing the 5-second pedestrian delay at intersections.
Oh yeah, that was a funny one. I'm shocked I didn't write that down. That shit's hysterical.
So what should we put him for sanity?
Put him maybe 3 or 4 sanity, maybe 4 or 5 car cucked.
Yeah, I'll say 5.
Okay. Next up is Ari Grossman.
City planning. He's a bike guy. Designated bus lanes on all 3+ lane streets, increasing vacant home taxes, and more high-rises built faster. Social goals, better psychologists, school programs, and is generally pro-LGBTQ. Personal needs a website I have written down. Vibes seems pretty good, but inexperienced. I gave him a 5.
It's important to note he's like 18.
Yeah, he looks very young in his pictures.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely sane and a bike sell. Those are his two
Yeah.
things. Maybe put him at like 5 and -5.
Yeah, I don't think he's like doing the wrong thing here. Just needs some time, you know.
Yeah. James
Keep working away at it.
Guglielmin.
Could not find anything.
Okay.
it's here. This is his website. This is James. You have to search up James G from here, but this is his website.
Oh shit! All right. Oh,
One thing I'd like to mention to the great people of Toronto is that I'm against all forms of communism, socialism, Marxism, and favoritism for any group.
Boo!
Stay
All right,
Get this guy out the fucking.
insane. I'm against all of these groups, and I'm against favoritism of any group.
Yeah. Get rid of this guy.
Okay, contradiction number 1.
Oh.
I'm for the people of this great city. Oh, one sec.
Wait,
I'm doing
wait.
a dive. Cyclist. It's a picture of a car hitting a
Yes.
cyclist.
This is a message for the cyclists of Toronto. In my experience, there has been many mishaps that have happened, including people being cut off, threatening people, and causing damages to vehicles. Also, pedestrians getting injured or harmed. Therefore, I propose that a person that is 16 and older require a license and insurance when riding on city roads, rural areas, and bike pathways. This ensures that if such damage to property, pedestrians, or city property, that it is insured. A also propose that failing to do so, that the license is suspended for 3 months and the bike to be impounded in the police station. If it happens a second time, then a year's suspension of the bike license and impounded. And if on their strike, the license suspended for 5 years and also impounded. This guy wrote this section in a blind rage.
Yeah, I think this does confirm one of our suspicions earlier that bikes are woke.
Although he does have the Pride Progress flag giant on his website.
Yeah,
he
with,
does.
with the non-binary thing on it too.
Now I need to figure out what Kiss Pink Diamond Lane
So
is.
from what I understand, it's that if you have to go fast, there's an express road where you can go there. So if you're late for work or you get to an appointment, but you have to pay a toll. So it's a lane which is tolled.
Okay.
Oh, a toll lane instead of the whole road.
Yeah.
All right. We're
Which
giving
is-
this guy.
All right. Well, this guy's insane.
We're giving this guy a staunch schizo rating, staunch bike or car cuck rating. Put him at 8 car cuck and -8 schizo.
Though he is the first person to run who is deaf, so according to him. So congrats on that.
Next up, David Gullius.
City planning, collective housing, improved public spaces, right to work, more public beauty and entertainment, and then social goals, anti-corporate colonization, which is that's some big words coming out from him, you know. Government being bad means wait. Oh, he has something saying government being bad means corporations can convince us that they are better, which they aren't.
Okay,
that's something he said.
based.
And he is an open lefty, and he's just kind of here to get more lefty representation. And yeah, I said 5 out of 10. He has some decent policies. There's nothing notably bad. Spare if you're running on corporate colonization, you're just not gonna get anywhere with that.
Yeah.
No Torontonian really cares, and running on open lefty is kind of shooting yourself in the foot, but such is life. So yeah, 5 out of 10, nothing too bad. He's just not going to get that far.
Fairly sane, right?
Fairly sane. He admits he's just yeah, I'm just here for a little bit more representation. So
I really like his email address, which is pleasevototoronto@gmail.com.
Yeah. Let's put him at fairly sane. He gives off kind of a bike sell vibe. Maybe put him at 6 sanity, -1 bike sell. Yeah. Next up, Thomas Hall.
I didn't see anything.
Okay. After that, Peter Handius.
All right, I kept this guy's link in my. Oh yeah, that's why. This website is beautiful. This website is beautiful. I'll tell you. Everyone should go look at it. Open it up, and just look at the first screen you go to. City planning, he says, not just repairing infrastructure, but upgrading it as we repair it. Snack shacks and cafe spaces that could be rented out in city parks. I think that's a cool idea. Social goals, subsidies for low income, which is a policy, that's for sure. And more laws for safety in high risk jobs, which I think is cool. Help with addiction services. Personal, a very tall, ghoulish picture for the empowering businesses section.
Oh my
And
God.
I just said vibes. I don't know. It just doesn't feel thorough. He's chilling at like maybe like a 5.
His
She's
okay under blog he has podcast. There are currently no episodes. Check back soon. So maybe
Oh yes, sorry.
maybe we can get him on board the Theory Night in Canada podcast.
Maybe we can. If you do scroll down to the empower small business and ideas with your support and look to his picture to the left of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
it's just
an incredible picture.
it's just wonderful. But we'll come back to incredible pictures soon, I believe.
Okay, what are we putting this guy on Schizo Car Cup?
Like maybe this guy could actually be around a 0.
Wait, just before you get number, he is posting on his Facebook different threats he's getting from other candidates, and he's threats from the police. Just as a heads up.
That's pretty good. That's pretty keen.
Okay, a little bit schizo, pretty neutral along the Car Cuck bike sell. They put him at like -4 and 0.
Yeah.
4.0 sounds good.
Okay.
Do you give him like half for cars?
0.5 pro car.
Why do you just vibes?
Just I can feel it. I feel like the not just I don't know. I feel it somehow.
All right.
Okay.
Next up, Heather He.
I had nothing.
All right. Toby Heaps.
This guy's funny. City planning, dog-friendly city parks, less salt usage in the winter so it doesn't hurt dogs.
Nice.
Expanded public transit hours and cooperative home ownership.
This guy is the dog pill candidate. He's
I was gonna
on
say-
Yes, he is in fact running with his dog Molly because doggos make politics more human.
Also, his logo is his name with 2 like paw prints next to it.
Yeah.
He's the underdog.
Shut up.
So for people doing cooperative home ownership, they would get benefits and fast tracking, and developers would have to finish their buildings on time regardless of like market forces and prices. They would, if market forces go weird, they just have to lose some. They are forced to. And social goals, one-time pet licensing, and raising taxes on massive corporations that would go to favoring small businesses. Vibes overall pretty good, just a little too Reddit for me.
He has insane number of endorsements. Just the endorsements he has is insane. The former mayor of Vancouver endorsed him. Senior director Mars endorsed him. Like,
Why
why
don't we just email these people and get their endorsement?
Honestly, no. For running with dogs is like a fast track to get at least some attention.
What did you give him out of 10?
Me, I gave him a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Okay, so
And then for Schizo, Bike Sell Car Cuck, he seems to be a single issue candidate, and that's just pro pet ownership.
There's pro pet, but then he also has the cooperative housing and some other cool policies like that. So he seems like, again, a little too sane to be in the political world.
So maybe like he's too dog pilled as well.
Yeah.
a little dog pilled.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, you're running and you're with your dog. You're such a normal person that it's hard to play the ghoulish political game.
Interesting. I don't know. I'm giving like a -2 for sanity.
Yeah, I'm feeling I'm feeling like a 4 maybe.
I think he is pretty sane. I think Spencer's right. Maybe give him like 4, and then
Yeah,
maybe
I don't
like,
think he's insane.
Yeah.
Is the thing. Like it's just a normal human that's just decided to run for mayor because there's like no barrier for it.
Yeah. Put him up to like 4 sanity. Maybe like -1 bike sell.
Just the vibes.
I
yeah.
have a feeling that with a dog, you're going to be doing a lot of walking paths. So maybe like a -2, -3.
-2 maybe.
Oh, that's going a bit far.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
Okay. Next up, we have Monowar Hossein.
Dope ass name. City planning, nothing. Social goals, homelessness should not exist. More space for music. No more property taxes. Yeah, 1 out of 10 I gave. There's just not much here.
Nothing worth charting, I guess.
Nothing really, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, Mitzi Hunter.
Oh man.
I have written for my introductory statement, hell, it's about time. City planning, I don't know where this came from.
We're not going to
The city planning, publicly owned housing, better subway hours, more green space, and better washroom availability. I think that's a cool thing that not enough people have mentioned. Social goals, more opportunity for responsible drinking in parks. I think that's where I got hell, it's about time.
That's hilarious. She's pro drinking in public.
Yeah, there are a few candidates who are pro drinking in parks, which I
All the
think
major
is
ones are.
cool.
Yeah.
All the major ones are.
All of the major ones are. So we will see a policy change soon, I hope.
We are.
As a fully costed budget, some stuff for childcare, personal, everything is a 3-point plan, which I find funny. Another person where a lot of their campaign is in articles. I said too many articles, this sucks. And a minimum donation of $26.
That's a
fine.
weird denomination.
Yeah. Maybe that's just a fat finger. Who knows? Seems like a fine front runner. I can give is it a 7 out of 10? I forget. I didn't write the
I
number
will
down.
admit that from the debates, she's my favorite person. Where
Nice.
Oh,
she's like super.
actually,
like,
the website does mention why $26 is the minimum donation. Donations
Why?
to our campaign between $25.01, so $25.01, and $2,500 can receive a cash rebate from the city of Toronto.
Oh, that's cool.
that's good.
That's extremely sane.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Um,
so, her entire shtick is that she was the former Minister of Education underneath Kathleen Wynne, and when the Liberals were reduced to just 7 seats in all of Ontario, she was one of the 7 to survive. And then when the Liberals were dead at 8 seats, she was one of 8 to survive. And for some reason, she left and ran. And she's now running for mayor.
Interesting.
You're not willing to risk it for another biscuit.
I don't know
guess.
why, to be honest, but here we are.
What are we putting her at?
Very sane, maybe like a 9.
9
Trey,
sanity?
what are you thinking?
So her entire shtick is that we need to have more livable cities. So we need to have much more community housing. And then she's really big into the TTC kind of revitalization and whatnot.
So pretty
No, I will-
Honestly, fully costed budget, 10 sanity.
10 sanity, maybe -6 bike sell, -7 even.
Yeah.
Though I will say that she used to be anti-subway, really hard anti-subway.
Used
All
to
right.
be.
Well, people can change.
Yeah. What number rating did you give her, Spencer?
I gave a 7. Actually, maybe I'll give this an 8. Maybe I'll go for an 8.
Okay. Next up, Sheila Igadan. Or Igadan.
As a mayor, I will ensure I'm on time and at work every day. So
Finally.
we're setting the bar high.
Yeah.
City planning, better parking systems, and more active transport. Social goals. Social goals starts with auto insurance, where she aims for more insurance transparency. But that industry kind of exists on not being transparent. So I don't know how that works, but maybe we got a plan. More fitness programs in parks. I really like that. Personal entrepreneur, baby. Let's go. Vibes, fine enough ideas. There's just not really enough of them. That's like a 5, maybe 6, maybe. I don't know.
She talked a lot about parking, smart parking and stuff like her entire city traffic and parking is very parking focused.
Yeah.
So I think she's more car sell or car
Probably like a 4 or 5 car cell, maybe.
car cuck. Sorry.
But she does also have some active transport stuff.
Okay.
What are we thinking for Schizo Sane?
Eh,
Maybe like
negative.
Like a
one,
0?
1. Yeah,
I'd say like a 2 sanity. There's nothing insane. That's
yeah.
pretty sane from my whole thing. If we're thinking just strict sanity, she seems pretty good.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe put her like 4 or 5 car cuck. Maybe like 2
Yeah,
or 3 sanity.
I put 4 and 2.
Okay. Next up, Daniel Ermia, who's got both the best email I've seen so far and a Proton Mail account.
Oh, yo, so insane already.
Santa Buddha Toronto Nation at Proton.
What, sorry?
Holy moly.
Santa Buddha Toronto Nation.
The best thing about Proton is like none of those emails are taken. The username could have been anything, and that is what they picked.
Wait, do you know anything about this guy?
I didn't have anything.
Okay.
No, I couldn't find anything.
Let's
So,
move on.
And with that,
Si-
I might have to get moving.
Okay,
So
we'll take a break, and we'll be back.
So wait, last one. So he's a proton, so -10? Just instantly.
I don't think it would. And we're back. Spencer, are you ready to go?
yeah. I'm on it.
Next
I
up
will
is
say that.
Syed
Sorry.
Jaffrey.
Good. All right. City planning, just some plans for accessibility and stuff. Social goals, subsidies for tuition, and he was asked about racism and just started talking about mental health, which is kind of hype.
Okay.
Personal People's Party. I forget what the People's Party does again.
Oh,
Trey.
he was that guy. He was like the really progressive guy who was part of the People's Party of Canada and worked with Maxime Bernier.
People's Party of Canada is like the far right nationalist party.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he's like really progressive. If you look at his like thing on the
Now,
website.
you guys will be interested in this. Apparently, he's in biomed, and I have another. This is my second drop for peanut-shaped head. So that's another interesting fact. Vibes, weird in the way where he says one good thing and then nothing else, but like you have People's Party as part of it. So I give him 1 out of 10. There's not much there.
Oh my god, you were not lying about peanut-shaped head. But yeah, he is a member of the PPC, and he thinks that diversity and immigration is not handled properly, especially that Indigenous education is not done well.
Yeah.
According to the interview, he really likes Red Lobster.
Red Lobster. What
I've
is
never been to a Red Lobster in my life. Is it good?
Yeah, neither have I. It's his favorite restaurant in Toronto.
Wow. Wow. In Toronto.
Red Lobster had like it was like bottomless crab buckets or something.
Yeah, I think
like
so.
well, I don't even remember. This is like a memory that I've blocked out because I was scared of eating fish as a kid.
For all the problems with Toronto, the lack of good restaurants that are not chain restaurants is definitely not one of them.
What is your favorite restaurant in Toronto Center? He responds, well, in terms of my favorite restaurant, it does change, but I do love Red Lobster. So I usually just go find a Red Lobster.
That just sounds like a guy
good.
who's like, shit, how do I connect with the working class? They love eating slop, you know?
I'm a big fan of the Red Lobster in the Walmart parking lot.
Yo, yeah, the Clarence Thomas move of my favorite thing to do on vacation is visit Walmart parking lots. Okay, so what are we thinking for Syed Jaffrey? Sounds pretty schizo, but is he a bike seller or a car cuck?
No info on that, so 0.
0
So-
on bike sell car cuck, but let's put him at like, just for the fact that he's a progressive People's Party guy, like at least 4 on the schizo scale.
So like negative.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
By the way, just a heads up for people who are watching for continuity, I did modify the scale label because the scale label is backwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up, Michael Jensen.
I had nothing.
Okay.
We missed one. We missed Daniel Ermia.
Ermia was someone that we didn't have anything on. He's already in the act
Yeah.
of going to destroy the CN Towers.
Oh,
So,
okay. Sorry.
Next up is Patricia Johnston.
Oh, yeah, I love Patricia Johnston. Her website has just like, there's nothing really there. City planning, just general affordable housing, nothing much. Social goals, she mentions class and says affordable housing is being taken from us, so like, sure. Personal seems to be like getting up there age wise, so that's a little tidbit. But my favorite thing was her website just has like 3 pictures with a quote beneath them, and the third picture is labeled in quotes, "This bill is nasty," and then it doesn't say what bill is so nasty.
All right, I'm pulling this up for the folks at home. This bill is nasty. Patricia Johnson speaking at MPP Jessica Bell's press conference on Bill 23.
Oh, it does say it. I'm just
What
an
is
idiot.
Bill 23?
The Build More Homes Faster Act, where the idea was to reduce various regulations in order to build house faster. It also reduces the need for environmental checks. So basically, you don't have as much environmental due diligence.
I see. So the classic, if we just
that.
deregulate everything, we'll get more economic activity.
Yeah. Damn, surely this has worked every single time in history.
All right, so
I gave it 2 out of 10. I don't know. I liked this bill is nasty. I thought that was hysterical. So
and she is right.
1.
That bill sounds nasty.
Well, the bill is
Yeah.
There's the Habitat, or what's it called? Habitats for Humanity supports the bill,
Yep.
which gives me pause. But the only problem with the bill is it does say that we have to get rid of large parts of the green belt.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, so she sounds pretty benign, both schizo and bike sell car cuck, like
Well,
pretty
she's a
centrist.
little. I mean, the entire website with nothing else, but the fact that she knows how to make a website seems a bit schizo. Right? Like, she knows how to make a website. Clearly, it's a good website design, but there's like nothing there except for her being really angry.
This bill is nasty. This website is nasty.
So I think her focus on pro-regulation, pro-green belt puts her slightly bike sell, like maybe -1.
Yeah.
And then
Slightly bike sell, and then like probably like 2 out of 10 sane.
like
I'd
positive.
go a little bit higher. I'd go a little bit higher, yeah.
Okay.
All right, I trust your judgment, Shrey. Put her on that.
You're right. The fact that she did address the bill as nasty, it was pretty dead on.
Yeah, so it's like 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's clearly going out to civil, like she's clearly speaking at the legislature and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, Wilayat Khan.
I got nothing.
Okay. After that, Serge Korovitsin.
All right, city planning. This one is based. Uber and Lyft will solve all of our transit issues. Reducing property taxes. Looking into expanding the island airport. That's one that I think is pretty wild.
This guy seems like
build a bigger island.
No, that's actually a really that's not that far out idea. It's a pretty common idea.
Now I'm looking at his website. This guy comes off as a huge corporate cocksucker.
Yeah.
Like, make all union negotiations public via video streaming of the negotiations in real time for viewing by Torontonians.
We'll get there. We'll get there. But yes, that is wild. Thinks we should have more companies competing with hydro to reduce hydro prices. Do not look at Britain. Do not look at Britain. Social goals. All city contracts will be published for public viewing. All union negotiation will be made public. No welfare checks. Replaced with an emergency solution center ?
So welfare checks is when like the police go to make sure you're still alive, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, unless it's checks like other checks, like CHAQ@US. That's giving welfare out.
I don't even know, bro. I just have no welfare checks, so it could be either at this point.
Well, you're right.
He's talking about the police showing up to check on you. Most of the people on the streets who need our love and care, throwing them a welfare check. Oh wait, no. You were right.
Yeah.
He spells welfare check in the context of policing, but he actually means welfare check as in like money given straight to the homeless.
That's
So getting rid of welfare is the classic. All people should be able to live in their community. It's not about money, it's about people. Is something he said, which something materialism, I don't know, but it just seems so weird to say that when the issue with people right now is clearly money.
He's also got support private.
Inflation is up, pay is down, it's clearly money. Everything should accept crypto, so that's a good sign. Privatizing education, more sports for kids. I like the idea of more sports for kids. Personal, Libertarian Party, and I must say, acting like a libertarian. So you love to see that. Now, also born in the Soviet Union.
Oh.
We lost one. It's Jover.
Our
So
young
there you go.
Is being
Vibes,
poisoned
I
by
said,
social
seems kind of nice, but just like libertarianism fundamentally is just like, don't read into this too much, don't look at other countries and don't look at history. But there was overall like a relatively complete-ish plan, so I give it 3 out of 10.
This guy's also a libertarian environmentalist. Looking at his Libertarian Party profile, I've adhered to a vegetarian diet since 2001. Promote a
That doesn't
healthy
mean
lifestyle and care about environment.
Oh, he does. Okay. Yeah. So okay, what are we gonna put him?
Any libertarian immediately like loses points on the schizo scale. Just like it is a very schizo philosophy.
I do think
Yeah.
the crypto thing was a bit wild for me
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah, I think if people who are still riding for crypto, you need to learn how to take an L. Like you can say some stuff here and there, be like, you know what, I'll still put some money in to try to make some, but like stop trying to push for institutional crypto. Crypto had its big shot,
Yeah.
and it blew it like 9 times back to back.
Yeah.
Spencer, you missed my favorite one, which is allow private companies such as Uber and Lyft to solve transit.
Well, that's what he said.
Oh no,
the first
that was my
thing.
I got that early,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, Uber and Lyft solving transit is just heaven sent and very car cucked.
Yeah, we're putting this guy car cucked schizo. A little more schizo than he is car cucked.
So -5 and -3.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, I would say more. So -4 and -6, right? For more cars.
Yeah, the cars we could do -6, and then sanity -4.
Oh no,
Yeah,
put him
I
at
think that's
6
good.
for cars because that's the positive one.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Okay. Next one is Michael Lamoureux.
All right, city planning, more subways, more parks, mixed use house. Is against mixed use housing, saying that it's only good for 40 years. Which is very weird because all of the oldest cities are full of mixed-use housing that they've had for hundreds of years. So that was just a little tidbit I caught onto. It says we need to stop tax cuts for developers. The city should sell off community housing and unused space to go to paying people's rent. Or something, which was just weird because it's like, okay, you're getting rid of your income in favor for higher outpayments. Anyways, says we need to build more underground subways, and
This guy looks pro-train, anti-streetcar. That's his
So
transit
Bennett-
line.
no fares, but people have to pay way more for parking, which will pay for the subways. This one is a cool idea. Capping all roads at 2 or maybe 3 lanes per side, and then everything beyond that goes towards active transport or bike infrastructure.
Interesting.
And clearly, like he says, I have no clue what to do with the 401, which is a reasonable opinion, but when you're running for public office, you can't just show weakness like that.
No. Wait. The 401's not even a mayoral thing. It's a provincial thing. He can't do anything with the 401.
Yeah, it belongs to the
So I
province.
guess it doesn't even matter. He just showed weakness for no reason. Higher taxes on investment property, social goals.
No Airbnb.
Wants there to stop being more people. So I guess this is one of those like population growth is like unsustainable things, but like what people are you going to stop from existing?
So he does answer that. He does answer that. So he
Okay.
does say that a city optimally should be between 1 or 2 million. Anything more is not good for the city. According to
And
him.
today we hit 4 million, didn't we? According to some sources.
I thought it was 3 million.
Yeah, we're at 3 million.
Oh, is it 3 million?
Canada's
I
at 40 million.
wrong
Canada's
number.
at 40 million. And
Yeah.
so his answer on how do we bring people out of the city is that he's going to use a power of persuasion to move people out.
So fucking true. What was it? People with mental health issues, just put them in houses. City budget needs to be drastically reduced to its core function. I wonder where we've heard that before. Decreasing taxes if people go green for climate change, so that's your incentives. Oh yeah, and then it gets really good. Reducing pigeon and raccoon populations.
Wait.
Wait, I'm not gonna wait, actually. Getting rid of all the graffiti. Uh, Banning drinking in parks, which I have in parentheses 1984 beside this.
I thought that was already
And then-
illegal.
I think it is. And then allowing stop and search for gun charges. And I don't know why people still think, like, bro, stop and search is totally gonna work this time. Like, it's totally not gonna come back and be racist this time like it was every other time. But, personal, this guy, wait, what was it? I'm just gonna read this like a robot. This guy wrote a whole lot and made it sound like a huge, like, opinion piece, his whole thing. I like informal writing, but especially when you're running for office, I think you need to have, like, the core of your plan still be pretty just objective and by the books, and then you can have a longer, more opinion piece-like thing. Vibes, I just wrote austerity me harder, 4 out of 10.
He wants to ban panhandling, which is kind of wild.
He wants to ban begging for money?
Yeah.
That's such a weird thing to want to ban.
just have you tried not being poor?
Well, no, his thing is they want to give money to everyone so they don't have to panhandle. But he wants to end it
Okay.
altogether.
I know there was a time when you had to get a license to be a beggar in England.
Really?
Yeah, like a really long time ago. Marx talks about it in Legislation Against the Expropriated in Capital Volume 1. He goes over all the weird laws England passed to try to force people to move into cities.
But this guy wants the opposite, actually.
So now we've gotten so successful at legislation against the expropriated, we now need to move people out of the cities.
Yeah.
I do find him addressing the city, like, traffic problem as a population problem kind of interesting. Because there are a ton of, European cities and stuff like that are just so much more effective at moving, just as many people, at least per square kilometer, or even the same size. Like, there are cities that do that way more effectively.
Yeah.
There's an interesting way he writes about that, where he says that according to him, the climate change debate is just a population debate 30 years early. Where he believes a population debate's going to happen after this one if we don't get climate change working already.
So he's like a neo-Malthusian? He thinks we've, reached carrying capacity or something?
That's basically what he says, yeah.
I mean, haven't we already reached the whole population debate as, the solution for climate change is we need less people? But then, it died out because the whole thing is just okay, so what people are you going to exterminate then? Because that's what you're saying effectively.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is that it's you can go, too many people consuming too many resources. So are you going to become unaddicted to infinite population growth? I don't think so.
Yeah. Are you going to do resource degrowth schemes?
Yeah, which is what actually needs to happen. But is in the logic of capitalism just forbids that, right? It can't be allowed to happen.
Population growths help make economies better in the sense where people are able to lean on each other more and more if it's done well, right? And people are given the resources properly. But what he's saying goes even further with that, where it's okay, we need to reduce populations altogether because that would help the city grow? Question mark?
We need less people, but more consumption per, I guess.
Yeah.
We need to ultimate consumerism.
We need to make a paradise dome, and then we force all the homeless people out into the countryside, where they then become peasant farmers. We need to.
I do want to highlight.
We need to
Spencer,
red vern.
He's actually against consumerization. According to his graffiti policy, he does want to ban spray paint. So
ban. What the fuck?
All right, we're moving on from this guy. This guy's.
I love this guy. Actually, this guy's awesome.
This guy's pretty schizo, but also slightly bike pilled. He's big into trains and shit. But
he has trains, more subways, more parks.
Yeah,
He
I guess
also wants to
anti
keep
mixed
Gardner,
use. It's so weird.
Yeah, but this guy's slightly bike sell. Like he's
Well,
not
he
a
wants to
hardcore
keep
bike
that.
sell.
He wants to keep the Gardner as well. Like, he's very pro that.
Oh, but capping roads at 2 lanes and then
That's cool.
everything
Yeah,
else
this
goes
guy's
to
definitely
bikes.
this guy
Like,
definitely leans bike sell.
I'd honestly call that pretty decently solid on the bike sell, because that, when you think of all stroads and like
Yeah.
all the main arterial roads throughout the city, all of those would end up with like massive bike infrastructure,
Yeah,
which
but this
would
guy
be
like
crazy.
but this guy like -5 bike sell, -1 sanity.
-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's a little crazy. Like the
I
whole
would go further than that.
Where would you put him
Like,
for schizo?
It's weird. He has some things that are actually, yeah, I'd put him at like maybe a negative. Oh, where would you put him, Shrey?
I don't know, because some of it's like okay, the last guy we put -4, and relatively speaking, I don't think he's like a negative. I think maybe the -3-ish.
Yeah, put him at -3. Put him like
Yeah,
-5.
I guess this
bike
guy's
sell.
brought up by some policies.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then like he just has that hysterical stop and search pigeon raccoon population graffiti and drinking in parks thing,
Yeah.
which is just like, it's like 4 Vine Boom sound effects.
All right.
That guy's awesome. I want another Michael.
All right. Next up, Chris Langenfield.
I do want to highlight. Sorry, last thing. I do want to highlight that his initials are quite awesome too.
ML. That one's for the folks at home. Chris Langenfeld.
All
is
right.
up next.
Opening quote. Hello, folks. Shrey, what infamous politicians say "folks" a lot? Again.
Okay, come on, you can't do that.
All right.
can't do
All right. Let's give this guy a fair shake.
All right. And beyond the hello, folks, I have written down the quote: "People don't want to think about what the government is doing,"
He's actually
which
correct.
is, yeah,
Correct.
like that is incredibly sane. So that
Yeah.
brings it up there. City planning, replacing luxury buildings with, or replace future luxury building with affordability, and then proceeds to say 5% of buildings. And I forget what it is, but we already have a certain percentage that needs to be affordable. I just forget what the number is. So I don't know if that tweak is up, down, or the same. Reel in the yellow belt housing expansion. So it used to be single family houses, turned to 4, and then he says, let's bring that back to 3 units, which is like, just so specific.
This guy seems like a
Retrofitting
centrist.
old warehouses to house homeless people,
Okay.
which is something. Traffic is, he says traffic is getting worse, and then nothing else. And then pegging property taxes to inflation, which is something that I didn't think about too much and just wanted someone else to think about for me, to tell me how that would work and what that would really mean.
A lot of the big 6 candidates do say that they want to increase property taxes by inflation, but not pegging it to it. I know that minimum wage is now, I believe, pegged to inflation in Ontario. So I can see the logic, going both ways, but I don't know enough past that.
Okay. His thing is, generally we reactionarily rise property taxes after an inflation bump,
Right.
which leads to budget shortfalls because we're always like behind the inflation with these property tax increases. We
Yeah.
should just peg them together so they're always like constant relative to each other.
But isn't it like the whole point of inflation being bad is because everything is going up? So by pegging it, property taxes to going up with inflation also going up, it's just going to make it harder for people?
Yeah, I don't know how this would work.
We'd have to actually think about this before an episode if we
Yeah,
wanted to.
I don't want to think about this right now. Let's
All right.
move on.
Social goals: improving
Wait.
accessibility, wants opinions to be heard. I can fix her. The her in the her that is being referred to as the system.
Yep.
Social programs to reduce crime. Not only relying on police as a band-aid for all, but let's add some more guards to the TTC. Personal stuff, not a politician, not like the others, just wants to get in, fix it all, then get out. And vibes, I can fix her is just so funny. 6 out of 10.
6 out of
Ben,
10.
Ben, are you on the website?
Yeah.
Okay,
Actually,
I love
5
that.
out of 10. traffic is getting worse, and then forgot to say anything else. I thought the pegging property tax to inflation was just cool and seemed like a real. It felt like something tangible, which not a lot of people have.
What do you ask? What do you want me to do, Trey?
Well, I was gonna say I love his thumbnail. His thumbnail looks like he's about to get mugged, or he's in a.
Yeah, he's so sweaty in his thumbnail.
Oh, let me check this.
His splash page on his website.
It's actually a video.
Yeah. Anyways, what are we thinking for this guy's schizo car cuck?
Well, he seems fine, to be honest.
Yeah, he seems pretty sane.
Oh yeah, this guy. This guy seems extremely sane, just like a guy running for mayor. And in terms of just being a guy running for mayor, did an okay job.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Like there's clearly much better candidates in my mind, but also like he's about as good as you can get for a not great candidate.
Okay.
I see him like the average guy. So I'd say like a 4 or 5, like 5 or 6 insanity.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'll put say 5, 6, and then for cars to bikes, where do we see him?
He seems pretty neutral on it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I don't think he cares that much.
He's like just saying there's a problem with traffic and not elaborating is like not really either position, you know?
Yeah.
He says he'll work to address these issues. It's a big thing.
Yeah.
So I'll put him as like a 1 that he knows it's an issue, maybe 0.
Yeah, maybe put him
0, I think. Yeah.
All right, next up is Rick Lee.
Rick Lee is funny. I like Rick Lee. Rick Lee says, "This is a bucket list thing because it only cost me $200. Just went around getting random people to sign so he could run, and said, I just want to be a Wikipedia entry. No city planning, no social goals. Just a guy, and you know you can't hate on someone for living their best life. So 2 out of 10."
All right, now this guy has no policy, right? So we're not even going to vote on Schizo.
Yeah.
Next up is Mark Lelieve.
Don't be a dick. Vote for Rick. It's incredible.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Leliever.
Okay, Mark Lelieve.
So get Toronto moving. This was hysterical because he says get Toronto moving, which you would figure means moving, you know? Active transport, getting rid of traffic that way. No, actually, getting rid of bike lanes. And getting rid of bike lanes downtown to help traffic. Well, I have news for you, buddy. It was bad before the bike lanes. And I just can't, yeah. Okay, social goals, property tax freeze, personal, not a politician, guys. You've never heard that one before. Vibes, just I will never be able to get over get Toronto moving and then getting rid of active transport. It's one of the 3 things that was there, and it just contradicts itself already. You only had 3 things.
Oh, it's based off that concept. Okay, so the concept is reduce carbon footprint by reducing number of cars idling.
That was the concept behind commute, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. All right.
So we want to clog up downtown with more cars so that the traffic makes them idle, I guess. I gave it 0 to 10. Very car cucked.
Extremely car cucked.
Like 10, pretty much.
The second 10.
Yeah.
More than 30.
I don't really have anything for sanity on that. Well, actually, no. The Toronto moving anti-bike lane.
That's
3 points and having a contradiction means something's wrong.
Put him at like 10 bike. Put him at 10 car cuck and then like negative 0.5 sanity.
Okay, I will say that he does on his website say that Toronto is Canada, and he does say that he doesn't like the left or right debate.
Classic libertarian thing to say.
All right.
Next up,
it's not left versus right. It's up versus down, guys. When they learn what left is.
Next up, John Latanya.
All right. Buckle up, guys. I wrote more about this guy than anyone else here.
Oh, this guy.
This guy's website
I have
is
more
just
than a full page. His website is fucking beautiful. His like headshot there is great. But let me, don't even let me cook. Drag the whole stove to me right now. Okay, yeah, you open his site and it's just a grainy photo of him in a van with like really bad lighting. He just drops his home address on the site. It's just there. He says, if you have like any other issues, text me on my cell.
Oh, it's a Doug Ford approach.
It's just wild.
Yo,
He
he's from
has his
Etobicoke.
number. Plain
Yeah,
text.
it's a
Yeah. All right. So let me read a couple sentences before we really get to digesting. Sentence 1. I'm here to respect taxpayers and fix all issues by overhauling City Hall and get rid of the red tape on all infrastructures without delay, saving taxpayers money and not wasting taxpayers money, and definitely making new money to pay for Toronto needs without taxing taxpayers.
Good man.
Sentence 2. Now for our economy and housing. I am going to use vacant land in city parks and open spaces for more farming growth for the people, so we the people can have free food all the time, even in winter. Just save your vegetable seeds or any seeds that you have when shopping for groceries and plant them in your yard or in your apartment or in your home, and at least you will be happy to see something grow and eat fresh food, and give your seeds to Toronto to plant so we can give it to the food banks so people that can't afford food can have free food. One sentence, baby. One sentence. All right, so I read every word in his plan. I went through this. I took my time. City planning, cutting red tape and building as fast as possible. Building as many cheap units as humanly possible so that there are no unused properties. I'm pretty sure he talked about filling potholes with garbage to reduce waste and fix the potholes. Using vacant land for farming, not raising taxes on investment houses or for developers, putting a cover over Scarborough Rail, like the RT, Scarborough RT, is that it?
I don't know what RT is.
Or is RT an
LRT?
abbreviation? Yeah, I think LRT, I'm just missing a letter. Yeah, because LRT would be above, so he said put a cover over it, which I think is so good. He says, fuck the gardener, that shit's expensive and it's an eyesore. So he's kind of going European on that, like German, Dutch kind of thing.
Yeah, get rid of it.
Synchronizing all lights and immediately towing any breakdowns. So it's no discussion. There will be a tow truck and it will immediately tow your vehicle. So that's an idea for helping with some traffic. Social goals. Now, oh baby, this is where the guy takes out his Pyrex and got that shit whipping like granola oatmeal. Make a new sport called fastball.
Oh, I'm on this part of his website. This rocks.
Yeah. Toronto owns the team and keep on this for a while, and says text him if you want at his phone number, and he's trying to raise money to start fastball. I think this is just a scam.
Should we invest $5,000 in fastball?
Look, if we ever get a Patreon up and get $5,000, yes, we should.
Yeah, that'll be like, you know, Patreon can set like goals.
Yeah.
That's our first goal. It's $5,000.
Start a fastball team.
$5,000 to invest in fastball.
Make Toronto a 50-50 lottery ticket. Other social goals: free food all the time. Also, tax breaks for grocery stores who give out food for free that's like almost bad, like going bad at the end of that day. They just give it out.
Yeah.
Therapy for social services instead of just relying on hospitals, or therapy and social services instead of relying on hospitals. That's actually just really good.
Yeah.
Now, here's where it gets Kino. Thoughts on crime? He wants to approach it with a quote-unquote hangman attitude.
What?
So here's another good one. Wants cops to have like constant facial recognition devices, as well as distance electromagnetic scanners to check for guns. But instead of having guns on them, cops would carry tranquilizer rounds.
Like in a movie? I don't know if those are real.
Look, don't worry about it. Let people just do art stuff anywhere. They don't need a permit. I like that. People should just be able to do kind of cool things. So, anyways, personal, not a rich man, so knows how to live on a budget. So fucking true. Thanks people for voting for him as point 11 of 15 before talking about things like taxes, which comes up later. Yeah, if you have any issues, call or text him personally, guys. Check out his site. He'll be there. Vibes, I wrote heaven and hell, 2 out of 10.
Oh wow! I'm just getting to the part where we're talking about tranquilize, and says that if you use a light dose of tranquilizer gun, so no one gets mistakenly killed or beat up by the police, if they resist arrest, the person will get tranquilized and calm down or have a good sleep instead, which would be way easier.
Exactly. Just they're having a nap. You know, it's like when a parent's telling a kid about someone that died in a movie, and it's like, oh, the actor just fell asleep.
Yeah. He also recommends to listen to a song called Steppenwolf by the Pusher.
Steppenwolf?
Steppenwolf, yeah, as part of his.
Wait, Steppenwolf. It would be the Pusher by Steppenwolf, wouldn't it? Unless it's someone doing a tribute to.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Listen to music by Steppenwolf, the Pusher, as part of his drug policies.
Hell yeah!
All right, this guy's brain
mandatory music.
This guy's brain is fried by something.
Yeah.
This guy maximal schizo. Like
so -9.
No. He's nowhere near Feng Gao.
Yeah, he's not Feng Gao.
-9.
Okay, -9. He seems slightly bike sell due to his eliminate the Gardner Expressway idea.
Yeah, that was pretty bike core.
And what rating out of 10 did you give this guy?
In a car in his picture.
That is true.
What rating out of 10 did you give this guy?
I think it's like accidental 2 out of 10 for bikes.
Okay.
2. Got it. Sounds good.
All right. Next, we've got Norman McLeod.
I couldn't find anything.
Okay.
Yep.
Next, Giorgio Mamaliti.
All right, families before politics, ladies and gentlemen. Families before politics. City planning, affordable housing using public-private partnerships, which is a model that I think is just barely starting to like age out, but it's still the dominant practice, so I'm not gonna, knock anything on that. As well as rent assistance. Right, I wrote, there seems to be no traffic policy. Nothing on the streets is what I wrote, so I had to decode that quickly. Social goals, closing shelters and moving people to permanent housing solutions. Finding the root cause of crime prevention, kind of, a buzzword. Everyone says that, but then, if you don't elaborate, what's the root cause, buddy? Addresses cybercrime. I thought that was pretty cool. Because no one else did that, and I genuinely think it's interesting, given that everything is becoming more digital in life. No real alternative to policing outlined. Law enforcement on the TTC. Welfare reform says hand ups, not hand outs. So training people on welfare and streamlining the process to make it more accessible, which, solid. Abolishing property taxes for seniors. This is one of those things where it's like, bro, they signed up for this shit. Like, they voted it to where they want it, They deserve it.
They have total control over municipal politics. They know they're pro-property tax. Another thing, this guy has a petition on his website to eliminate bike lanes.
Oh, nice. I missed that. So he does have something on the screen.
Petition against bike lanes. Dear residents of Toronto, we need your support to bring about a positive change in our city's transportation infrastructure. Join me, Giorgio Mamaliti, in signing this petition against the expansion of bike lanes in Toronto. A lot of this guy's vibe is like Italian American shithead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, I can speak a little bit on that. So Giorgio Mamaliti was
he's a city councilor for 30 years.
No, okay. So before that, he was an NDP MPP for Toronto. So he was an NDP member under Bob Rae. So he was in government, and then he lost the next election with like every NDP person. He became a councilor for 30 years, where he became very, very good friends with the Fords, since I think their ridings like border basically. Then he lost the now remember when Ford changed the council structure to reduce from like 47 to 25? He ran up against another person, lost against that person when his ward was eliminated. So he moved to Wasaga Beach, and ran for mayor in Wasaga Beach, and then came third over there. So then he came back to Toronto to run for mayor of Toronto.
Yeah, he was an MPP. He wrote a white paper on drug policy, which subsequently became law. As an MPP, I served as parliamentary assistant to the Solicitor General and Minister of Correctional Services, the Minister of Health, and the Minister responsible for the provincial anti-drug strategy, having authored a policy paper which subsequently became law on how addictions are classified and treated.
Damn, he brought the pandas to Toronto.
Wow.
From
Anyways, this guy seems extremely car-cucked. Having a petition against bike lanes on your website is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all around seems fairly sane. I mean, career politician, you can't truly be sane.
But he's saner than most of the guys on this list.
But he is.
Put him like positive sanity, pretty staunchly car-cucked.
Yeah, I'd say like 6 and then like 9 for a card.
Yeah. This guy actually was a professional politician and knows how this stuff works.
I mean, okay, no, actually got policy through, sanity 7.
Yeah.
7?
Okay. Next up, Steve Mann.
City planning, free public transit, social goals, stronger privacy rights, and says using open source software as the standard.
Oh, hell yes. He's wearing a Google Glass in his website picture.
Yeah, this guy's like, he's a professor who actually pioneered a lot with wearable tech apparently, and says that like using open source software would mean like savings, and then he also has a policy of tuition-free university. Shrey, can he do that?
No,
that's a provincial thing. Also,
and then also using an analog currency.
That's just regular currency.
Yeah, like what does that mean?
This guy's got a pretty like cyberpunk looking GIF on his website. I'm sharing it right now with the folks at home, but this guy's aesthetic rocks.
No, to answer your question, Spencer, an analog currency basically means he's not a cryptocurrency guy, but he doesn't know how to say that normally.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he couldn't just say regular currency.
Yeah. He's also
he had to say something where I thought he was making up something worse than crypto.
He's got a weird corporate infographic on his plan.
Yeah.
So this guy's actually huge in the Toronto in the technology world because he was the father of wearable computing, and like he's done a lot in this space. He was considered world's first cyborg by many.
Oh yeah, I think I remember this guy being in the news. Anyways, what's
I wrote like, this guy's awesome. I want to chill with him, but like, what the city doing, you know?
Yeah. What's our rating out of 10 for the tier list? And then what's our schizo car cut?
Free public transit, stronger privacy rights, and using open source, I thought was all cool stuff that I gave like a 3 out of 10.
Okay.
Because they're like, I don't know, just some cool ideas, but it's not enough to actually be a competitive candidate. So.
Okay. Now, Schizo Karkuk.
I think, I mean, he's a professor. He's very, very smart, but, you know, saying things like analog currency makes me think he's maybe too much into the tech.
Yeah.
Been institutionalized a little too long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd say like negative for the Schizo thing, to be honest.
Okay.
-2, maybe.
-1, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, -1.
What's he got on transport? What's our bike sell car cook?
Free public transit, I think we put that at like a 2 before.
Okay. So -2 and -1, I guess.
Or there's an open source TDC. What do we say about that?
Next up, Cleveland Marshall.
I got nothing.
Okay. After that, Josh Matlow.
City planning, more transit funding and lower fares, LRT and SCARBs, more active transit, moving the Gardner to the ground level, so getting rid of the elevated stuff, more bike lanes to improve traffic, ding, 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 we got one, and what was it? Protect the green belt using indigenous leadership.
What?
Or something.
I've got a lot to say about this guy, where he, out of the big 6 or 7, he is the biggest anti-Ford person, where his entire shtick is that he will fight Ford. Every debate he brings up how Ford's bullying Toronto, he's going to fight back. And how he's not going to work with Ford at all.
Yeah.
Before Chow ran, he was considered the front runner who's going to win.
Oh, okay.
Social
goals. He wants to open up schools in the evening for use as community spaces. wants to keep libraries open for more hours, put more investment into like arts and festivals, as well as more taxes on the owner class to pay for more services for everyone. Personal, he wants to use facts and evidence, and buddy, he is a doer. He's so normal. The plan is fine. There's some cool ideas like the schools for community centers and all of that. I gave like a 7 out of 10.
So from the debates, he's one of the few candidates who actually whose ideas not just we need more money from the other levels of government, where everyone's like we want more money from everyone else. He's the only person who's like I don't think we can depend on anyone else. We need to raise money ourselves here in Toronto. So I really do appreciate that. The big problem I had with him was I believe he was one of the main guys who was against Metrolinx for cutting down the trees and putting a subway station.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, we'll put him at what is it? I give him a 7 out of 10. For car cucked, we'll put him at like 8 towards bikes.
-8.
He's pretty bike.
And sanity we'll put at
he's like a famous counselor.
Like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Like seems like a completely normal municipal politician.
Yeah.
Seemed like a regular human.
Okay. Next up, Faisal Mohi.
All right, city planning. Lots of electric car infrastructure. Ding, 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 ding. We got him. Social goal: reducing property taxes by 10%. More police. Cut everything else, and stop the bad violence, guys.
Okay.
Personal needs a website. Please, anyone who's running for mayor, stop relying on like just big Twitter posts. Stop it, please. Vibes, get farther than Twitter, please. 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10. He is the only candidate with a solid climate change, according to his website.
According to his
website?
His tweet, you're right.
Oh, if I missed a website and then complained about him not having a website, that would have been awful.
But I will say that I'm not sure, Ben, if you can show the folks, but this is his big platform right here. You can see. I'm putting it in the Discord for all of you guys.
Is this his tweet with all the check marks?
Oh my god.
Yes,
I hate it. I hate it so fucking much.
I'm showing them the wrong picture here. Let me find this. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. All right. Sanity is going to like -4 based off of using this to push your platform. It's ugly. It's shit. It's on Twitter. How did you think this was gonna work?
That's
PhD in engineering, buddy. What have you learned? You've done projects. You've had to do presentations before. This is awful.
Also, not a career politician on the graphic.
Oh, fucking Christ!
But that's not fair though, because we've been okay with other people not having a website.
I've always like dogged it a little bit. Usually people that don't have websites, it's like you can tell that they can't really hold it together anyways.
That's true.
You know, like the people who are running on Facebook and stuff, it's all just like rants against Trudeau or whatever. Like they shouldn't have a website. This guy should have made a decent website.
Well, you know who has websites? Career politicians. And this guy's not.
Oh, you're right.
Though he does have a picture with both Chrystia Freeland and Doug Ford on his tweets, but you know.
Why does Dougie look like that? He looks so strange.
What are we thinking for this guy's?
I am a 2 out of 10. Pretty car cocked, like a 5.
Okay.
And then sanity. Like, look at that graphic. How can you make that and think this is good?
Maybe like -4.
Yeah, -4.
Okay.
Graphic design is not his passion.
Next up, Bob Murphy.
All right, this guy is just pro-union and wants to fix disability. But Shrey, did you catch it? Wants to bring back the spirit of Jack Layton.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I got a book for this guy.
Now this guy's built for Shrey. My vibes, I just said an NDP class culture warrior. It's like a Pokemon card.
You mean like a by class culture warrior, do you mean like he's...
No, not as in addressing class, as in like his Pokemon cards. Is it class? No, or is it element?
Oh, you're talking about type.
type?
Yeah, type. He's an NDP type culture warrior.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
gave him a 1 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, one of those extreme partisans, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we want to?
Does he even have a platform or?
Not really.
Okay,
Not
we
really.
won't put him on the axis then. Next
Yeah,
up,
that's-
Michael Nicula.
It's like a vampire but for nicotine. Oh yeah, so he says I'm running on a campaign of new ideas.
Oh,
And the first idea is Law and Order.
wait, did you see what his website's
So-
called?
Yeah, his
Uh,
website's called The Conservative Candidate, crime transit infrastructure.ca.
Oh my gosh. I missed that. City planning, affordable housing is useless, just leave it to the markets. Expand transit and for traffic and the climate. And free transit downtown. So those are actually pretty cool. Social goals, law and order. The city can't do it alone because of liberties, so it wants to bring in the OPP and RCMP to help. We need austerity, and then goes, why can't people afford anything? I got very heavy just fascism vibes all over from this. It was just a poster for it.
Well, Spencer, he's actually my favorite candidate personally,
Damn, that's crazy.
because if you look at his contact page, he's the only one who said that you can discuss with him on a podcast.
Yo, get him on the show.
Join Michael and other panelists for a live discussion on any topic. Drop a line with your contacts and we'll get back to you with available dates and time slots. Unfortunately, we're only like 10 days out from the election. I think it's too late to get any of these people on.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, he's the only one who said we can get him on a podcast.
yeah.
Although plenty of
Well,
these guys have been like,
maybe.
we will be on podcasts, you know?
That's it.
I feel like this is
Probably.
not the only guy.
Look, we're not institutionalized enough as a podcast. We're not like podcast heads that can't think
Oh
about
my-
anything.
Also, this
else.
guy probably means like Joe Rogan style, like retard podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I-
probably.
I'm a big fan of his. If you look at the about page, or sorry, about the candidate or photo gallery, he does go on the ballot and highlight where he is on the ballot, which I really appreciate.
Yeah. I love the concept of people just saying like vote candidate number 86 or something. It's so inhuman.
All right, so Cars sanity. This guy's not that sane.
No, so for bike lanes, he says he wants to, if the sidewalk's wide enough, place the bike lane on it. If not, reserve one sidewalk for bikes on every street and save the other one for pedestrians.
What the fuck?
But no
That's
more
not
bike lanes
bad.
on the road.
I'm not a fan.
No
of that.
bike lanes
I'm
on
not-
the road.
I'm not a
It's
fan
like
of
I'm
that.
not a fan of it, but at least it's something. It's barely anything. Plus, what was the TTC? Expanding transit and free transit downtown, which is that puts them up to like 4 now. How do we get to cars?
Wow. No, he's if you look at his website, like on his bike lane proposal, he does share what images of what he wants based off European models,
Okay.
where the bike lane's on the sidewalk.
All right. So we'll put this guy. We'll put this guy kind of bike cell.
Broadly expand the sidewalks. That's the
Yeah.
only other question.
Well, that's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
This guy's
So that's pretty good.
a bike cell, and
yeah, let's give him like a 4 or 5.
yeah, -4 on the bike cell, and then like, I don't know. What are we thinking for Saint Schizo?
He does. give
The
him a
thing
good
is his policy at its core is insane, but he isn't insane in its delivery.
He
That's
delivers it
perfect.
very articulately.
and clean. It gives very fascist vibes that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's tough. Is it insane or is it not?
Let's put him at 0. You know, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
I'd say
Yeah.
it's like a 2 or like a 2 on Sand. Kind of like how we did with Anthony Fury, where we're like, what he's saying is insane, but he just delivers it so well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Maybe, all right, maybe -2 on sanity then. All
Yeah.
right,
Just out of principle, we have to.
next up.
Oh, well, for him we gave positives, where I give him like a psych.
All right. Well, this guy will put negative for internal inconsistency.
Next up, we got Jamil Nawara.
I got nothing.
Okay. After that, Anthony Perusa.
This is a big one actually.
I have plan of 1,000 news posts. City planning, $1,000 a month homes, no property taxes or rent increases. So that's actually cool because that's like saying no property taxes or rent increases is one of those economic policies that used to exist in the way that like they would just block employers from increasing profits or like but also block unions from negotiating contracts.
The old Nixon 1972
So-
special.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting at least, but I didn't think about it much more. Free after school programs as a social policy. And I wrote personal, started as a carpenter. Bennett, could this be Jesus Reborn?
I don't think so, but this guy is this guy's the most Nixonian candidate we've seen, I think.
Yeah. I wrote my main issue is I don't want to read 1,000 news articles. Any candidates in the future, stop doing that. Stop it. I don't like it. 3 out of 10.
So remember how I mentioned George Emanuele lost when he came back to when he tried to run for councillor after Ford closed the number of councillor seats? He lost it to Anthony Perusa, who is a city councillor who beat Georgia.
All right. So what was your rating out of 10 for this guy, Spencer?
Anthony Perusa?
Yeah.
3.
3. Okay. And
he is sane.
he's pretty sane seeming.
Yeah.
He does have weirdly Nixonian policies. Nice to see that come back. But for the car stuff, does he lean either direction, you know?
I don't know.
Doesn't really, kind of a
He's
zero.
a suburban champion. That means anything.
All right, if he claims to be the suburban champion, put him at like 1 on car cuck. Put him at like 9 or 8 sanity.
Okay, sounds good.
And then next up, John Ransom.
1 second. I have nothing on him.
Okay. After that, Dion, spelt with an exclamation mark.
Yes.
Actually, D on.
Okay. Dion.
Shrey, clearly you haven't listened to her little what's it called? Jingle, the little song that she had.
Uh-oh. Maybe call
Oh shit, I need to find it again because it was stuck
recording
in my head
for
for 3 days.
Vote.
Do you think we'll get copyright strike by her?
Dun, 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 dun.
Vote Dion
Renee on election day. Vote Dion Renee on election day. Is that the one, Spencer?
Yeah, that's the one. It was stuck in my head for 3 days while I was researching this. It killed me. City planning, free TTC, better transit, increasing green spaces, as well as bettering the aesthetics of green spaces, which is something very important that I think is often left out.
Yeah.
More extensive pre-planning for when we do projects, and then executing the projects much faster. Cooperative housing, vertical farming, and Dutch road designs. Social goals, ladies and gentlemen, we can end racism with this one. As well as ensuring like a structural accessibility at its core. Personal, cheesy, yet incredibly addictive song that she just does alone in a video.
And she's doing it
with,
like
a
softly,
camera
like,
facing her.
she says it softly, like she's like in a library and doesn't want to be overheard.
Yeah. Vibes, I said she's got the spirit. I gave her a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe I should give us a 7. Maybe I should. I don't
7?
know. The song was stuck in my head for 3 days. It kind of hurt, but. Yeah. Because one of the big linchpin issues of this election is like what's going on with violence on the TTC. I don't really care that much because I like trains more than I'm scared of violence. But you know, it was missing. So there you go. If she had that, it would probably be a 7.
Okay. Now, Schizo...
Maybe that's what she means by better transit.
Schizo, sane, bike sell, car cuck for Dion.
Pretty
whoa,
sane.
Whoa. There's one thing we really have to highlight, and that's one of her housing plans.
Yeah.
Where she wants to build a 401 residence, retail, recreation, and resources, which will be the world's first and largest, longest, fully accessible, solar-operated, self-sustaining, climate-controlled community on the highway, which is built on stilts on top of the highway.
All right, her sanity score just went down by 3.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, it's I just sent it to you at the platform just so you can.
Holy shit, the 401 is huge.
That's
Well,
Sometimes I forget.
It's there's like, for those who don't live in Toronto, the outer lanes are the 401, and then the inner partitions are the 401 Expressway, which moves at the exact same speed.
Yeah, it's like at some times of day the expressway might be like a little bit better. Yeah, outer lanes 5 lanes, expressway 3. You end up with like 14 lanes, I think, usually, because of like on and off ramps that change it here and there.
Mm-hmm. It's all around a nightmare to drive on.
It's hell.
Yeah.
14 lanes and that shit still puts you in a dead stop every day at all times.
Yeah.
So
I avoid driving on it as much as I can.
How do we feel about putting stilts on top of it though, and putting residences on that?
I think it could solve traffic.
I think so.
All right. Next up.
Wait, we need the scores. So.
Oh yeah, we didn't give her scores. She seems pretty low. Like, she isn't a schizo, but she's not necessarily high in insanity.
I'd give her like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's like a negative.
That stilts on the 401 really like,
yeah, I would say
makes
3.
it tough, but beyond that, she's like pretty dang great.
Well, that's because that's the only one we've seen so far. We haven't really done.
Maybe give her like positive 2. You know.
Yeah.
I want to put it like a negative. Like, I still think is insane.
That is crazy. All right, maybe
It is.
Maybe
okay,
like negative 1. Negative 1.
Yeah. Okay.
And then for Bike Sell Car Cuck, what's she got?
I'd say like 3 towards bikes. But then again, she won't get rid of any part of the 401. She'll build over it. So that does make me think that it's like you can't get rid of any car stuff. But she does say expanded and better green space as well as free TTC. Maybe like a 1.
No, but there's a retweet that she posted,
Oh.
and you might be reading a little bit too much, but there's a retweet saying, "So what are you telling me? There's actually room for bike lanes on Parkdale?" Which
So
makes me
fucking true, sis. All right, she's going up, baby.
I think
That's bringing her up to like 3.
Okay, so negative 3, negative 1. Okay.
No, I think it's 3. Like, I think it's pro car.
No, I think what she's saying there is that it's like checkmate car tards, right?
Yeah, like it turns out there was space for bike lanes this whole time.
Like, what she's highlighting here is that they've ripped out a whole lane and it's still fine.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I made a mistake. My apologies, Miss Renee.
Okay.
Yes. You're right.
Next up, Willie Riodica.
All right, guys. The booming town of Whitchurch Stouffville needs a new mayor.
What? What?
What are you talking about?
I don't think this person either realizes they're running for mayor of Toronto, or I just found something that's old and couldn't find something new and updated.
Well, this is from 2014, though.
So it's just old. I said I think this is old, but I couldn't find anything new.
Oh my god!
So I guess there is nothing, but I thought that was funny.
All right.
This is really sad. Just reading. The first thing it says was, "I lost my 17-year-old son, my father, most recently my mother," and that's like the first line.
Damn. All right, I feel bad. We won't put him on the scale.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up,
We'll count it as nothing.
Chris Sokocha. This guy is a schizo.
Wait, did we miss Walter Rubino, or does that come after?
Oh wait, no, Walter Rubino. You're right.
All right. Well, we'll get back to Chris Guy.
Yeah.
So city planning free TTC with increased rate of service, and tolls in the around Toronto for non-residents, which I think is something. Social goals, more arts and cultural funding. Baby, this one goes out for you, Bennett. Marijuana patios.
What the fuck is this?
And then allow alcohol in parks. Does not like Doug Ford. And yeah, this guy just kind of seems like he wants some more slight social changes. Nothing too crazy.
Policies.
You missed the ban spray paint cans.
Yeah, restrict or ban spray paint
again?
And heavily punish graffiti vandals. This guy just seems kind of like a lib old man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
Slightly insane, but not so much. Maybe like a 3.
-3, yeah.
And then
I mean, he was a self-proclaimed pirate during part of his life, so.
and then
All right, maybe 4.
-4, and then like -1. So like 1 to the bike sell side just for the free TTC stuff.
I swear half
Yeah.
of them just want a free TTC.
Next up, Chris Sky, baby. Chris Sky for
All
change.
right. So, city planning, high density development with emergency measures to do it. Rent to own public private partnerships. Cool. Expanding public transit and making it cheaper. More subways using the public private partnership model, as well as private investment for subways. Social goals, just anti government. Proudly not a politician, serves truth. They keep trying to silence him, baby. Anti-mask, anti-vax, COVID denial guy. And then Bennett and Shrey, you guys have some of the deeds, don't you?
Yeah, so this guy was arrested recently.
Yes, he was.
So he was arrested
Now,
for...
before he got arrested, what did he say?
Well, he was under death threats, if I'm correct.
So Chris Guy arrested for allegedly uttering death threats. He tweeted about it, and he said, what was it? It was something crazy. Like, the deep state is getting desperate.
Yes.
A warrant is out for my arrest.
Yeah. I can't imagine running to be mayor and then just like ranting about the deep state and getting arrested while running for mayor.
Yeah, here we
like,
are,
don't
here
you
we are.
run for mayor at your like political peak or something? How does that happen?
I found the tweet. Deep state desperation. Tomorrow I will be arrested.
Oh, if you guys are interested, there is a Toronto wake party for people who are single looking for people to mingle with.
Sorry, where?
He's having a free barbecue on Saturday, June 24th.
Well, there's that too, but there's a single mixer, and Chris Sky is one of the guys who's headlining. If you're interested,
Yo,
we should go to the free barbecue on June 24th.
We should.
Yeah.
We should.
All
Yo,
right.
is that a stripper?
His wife?
Who's Angela Argentina?
No
I
idea.
don't know. Who's gonna be there? Man?
Chris Sokocha, hardcore schizo. Like
Yeah.
-8.
Also, just the look of him, he looks like a Shark Tank host if the Shark Tank host was a greaser.
He looks like the Shark Tank host. He looks like a Shark Tank host for like a version of Shark Tank where it's all prison economy based and you're investing cigarettes.
I'll put him in -8 or 9, where he's like cogent enough to talk about things, but not like young. What was the gentleman? Fangao or something like that?
Yeah, Fangao.
He's like a -9 schizo.
Yeah.
Fangao is a true like angel in this list. A true anomaly. Okay, 1 out of 10 for the rating out of 10.
What about bikes and cars?
For bikes, all his platform stuff is YouTube videos, so I don't know what his platform is.
Yeah, I didn't have anything on bikes to cars. I could make assumptions, but I'm too lazy, so we'll just leave it at 0.
Yeah.
I'm gonna his vibes gives me pro cars, so maybe like a 2, just like how we did for the rest. Yeah.
All right, next up, Lyle Sanders.
Affordable housing and transit safety and affordability. That's pretty vague. Social goals, school safety and reducing property taxes. Personal teacher and Métis, like, seemed all right, but there was really just not enough detail on anything for the platform. So I gave a 1 out of 10, and I don't think we have to put on the
axis.
on the compass. Yeah, on the axis.
Next up, Mark Saunders.
Mark Saunders. All right. So as our Rebel News anti-woke comedian said, bro, a cop is running? No one wants to vote for a cop.
Yes,
is this the right one, actually?
This is the right one.
Yeah, okay, good. City planning, nothing. Social goals, strong safety net, does not elaborate. Says policing is not the solution, and then proceeds to grill everyone who talks about defunding the police. Says more TTC cops, but also says train them in mental health and accessibility. Wants to prevent loitering on the TTC. Anything that says prevent loitering just puts like an immediate exclamation point
Yeah, very
For
weird
me.
policy. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like it. I know it's kind of a slight jump, but it just reminds me of like what was that thing at some point where in the civil rights era they made it like illegal for, certain people to move around suspiciously, but also made it illegal for them to loiter. So it was just like an option where it's like, oh, you don't like the look of someone? Huh, they're loitering, because who cares about loitering?
Yeah.
And yeah, wants more cameras on transit stops. He spends a lot of time talking about how scary it is out there. Everything is scary, everything is terrifying, you're going to get hurt. And yeah, a cop. So I said cop doing cop things and just gave like a 0 because there's nothing compelling.
Now,
it just felt like fear mongering.
He claims to be responsible for the body camera policy in Toronto.
Yeah. He was.
As well as the Special Constables program, which was the unarmed cop program.
Yeah.
And
well, he's a cop, right? Like even in his debate performances, he explains that he's very proud that he did a lot of community service with the cops, and that all the other candidates are anti-cop and are trying to defund the police constantly. He's the only one who can stop them.
Yeah.
All right, so this guy.
Yeah, it seems weird because he simultaneously wants to be a cop that's like with the progressives on the issues related to policing and has some history with it, but then also just like grills all the progressives for how they want to go about things. I just couldn't really get a good read on it.
I think this guy is the official candidate of putting pride flags on cop cars. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm bringing him up to 1 out of 10.
My favorite point from him during the debates was someone asked him like, how is he going to save money? Because his entire thing is we're going to cut waste and save money. And someone asked him how, and he responded with, "Well, I haven't seen the budget yet, so I'm not sure how." And everyone's like, "Well, the budgets are all public. You can just read it."
Yeah.
Illiterate.
Okay. All right. So this guy is actually a pretty normal candidate. Like he's one of the big guys, right?
He is one of the big guys.
So
he's number 2 in the polls.
So probably not that schizo, but also like
he's a cop.
Does he have any policy that isn't just about
I could
the
not
police?
find any city planning whatsoever. All of his policy was just like vague fear mongering.
So yeah, his policies on the debate stages was we're going to make TTC better. We're going to provide more security and safety. The reason why people are not using TTC is because people are too scared.
Okay.
And then his thing around housing is we got to really reduce red tape significantly.
Okay, so these are just all like non-proposals basically. So put him like
just like talking points.
Yeah, so put him at like 0 on bike sell car cuck and like I guess a little bit sane.
Oh, also he's anti-bike lane.
He's anti-bike lane. Okay, put him more car cuck then, and put him like I guess positive sanity, but not much.
Like a 7 out of 10 for car cuck.
He is pretty pro car. He's not as far as like Anthony Fury claims he's too weak, but
yeah,
he is very pro car. As for saying, I think he's sane. He's just like talking.
He's just uninspiring. All right.
Yeah. 7 or 8.
Yeah. Next up, Rocco Scapano or Scapano.
I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, his website link on the city website leads to a LinkedIn page.
This is
I will not open LinkedIn.
That's fine. This is Rocco. His entire thing is on Instagram.
Oh shit! All right, I'm going in.
There isn't
Give me
much.
3 seconds.
Like he wants to put more ads on city pages.
No, he wants ads on bridges.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Okay.
Well, he has this.
We don't need more ads. All we see is ads.
He has a little graphic where he shows like your ad here on a bridge.
Yeah, this guy has like basically no policy. Looking at his Instagram.
Yeah.
Wants to reduce red tape. That's the other big thing.
That's like how, you can't just say no more red tape. You need to actually.
He wants to add a new beach dock called the Woodbine Beach East Dock.
Okay. Yeah. This guy's like has no policy worth putting on the bike sell car cuck access.
Putting ads on bridges is insane, though.
Okay, yeah, that is insane.
Negative 4
yeah. All right, next up.
I should run for mayor and propose of just like putting perspective ads on every street.
Should we put anything for car cuck bike sell?
I don't think he is either.
Know.
Like,
okay.
yeah. Like 0, basically. Next
Yeah,
up,
-4.0.
Robert Schusterman.
Couldn't find anything again.
Naya Singh.
All right, city planning, TTC stuff. Okay, this was something. Says you must be in like a decent state to ride the TTC. You can't be shit faced and on transit.
That's like the point of transit.
Yeah.
Which the point of transit is like people will ride the train instead of driving home shit faced. So I guess this is our if you're pro drunk driving.
This is your candidate.
You know who encourages more drunk driving. This is for you. So positive messaging as well as instructions on how to react to assault on transit intercom.
Like as you're getting beat up, they just play a message about
It's
what to
like
do.
I think they just constantly play messages where it's like if you see someone getting beat up, this is what you should do, which is just like strange. Fare increases like Bucko. It's over $3. I need help.
Yeah.
Wants to do one person train operation, but also wants more people around for redundancy, which seemed weird. And then there was like a 95-page document that I went through, but around halfway through, I couldn't figure out whether it was actually his plan or whether it was just like extra copies of TTC documents just underneath.
It's TTC documents. I'm looking at it.
And then social goals, addressing class division, identifying causes of violence, and then immediately looks to gangs. Anyways, I had a book for you if you want to learn more about policies like this. Mental health counseling for PTSD, and a 24-hour crisis hotline, which I also thought we already had.
They have those they have those on the TTC in case you want to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So personal stuff, no one's reading a 90+ page document. Like I went through it because I was doing this shit, but like no one is doing that. So yeah, vibes. Come on, man. Just like,
I like the fact
no one's reading that. 2 out of 10.
Website's on caps as well.
Okay.
Sorry, Shrey.
His entire website's caps locked as well, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
All right. So
Oh,
now,
God.
Carcuck Sanity.
I mean, this person just talked so much about the TTC. Probably like a train person.
Yeah.
So we'll give a 1 out of 10 towards bikes.
Okay.
Okay. Sanity? He's
A
trained.
95-page document.
Well,
You can't be right in the head if you're putting a 95-page transit document as part of your plan.
Well, for a doomed mayoral campaign.
Well, no, but
Yeah.
3 pages are him, and 92 pages are the TTC Constitution.
You're telling me I read like 40 pages of TTC Constitution shit?
Well, yeah, it's according to TTC. It says in the very top of that, the 4th page, the TTC report.
Yeah, I thought it was like a blend where it was taking some chunk of the TTC and then he had some writing, and then a chunk of TTC, then he had some writing.
I don't think so because he signed the first part, like he signed off on it, kind of.
Spencer, no. Okay. Anyways, this guy seems a little bit insane and also a little bit bike sell. Put him at like -1.
Okay.
Maybe like -3 for insane.
Yeah, I was gonna say about -2, but -3 works.
Okay. Next up, Partap Dua Singh.
City planning, 100,000 green housing units within 6 months.
Yes, sir.
More public washrooms, cool. Free TTC, cool. Social goals, dismantle and replace Toronto police. So hard in the paint on the police abolitionist stuff. Direct democracy government, as well as addressing inequality. I gave like personal points. I was just kind of like, it's pretty bold to redo your democracy and policing from the ground up in like 3 years.
Yeah.
But you know what? I appreciate the ambition. So I gave it 3 out of 10.
This guy's website also is shocking. Like, first of all, giant picture of him is the first thing. Number 88 on the ballot in huge text. And if you, like, mouse over the tabs at the top, they, like, blow up and get obscured by the other tabs. Amazing website. Also, most of his policy proposals are framed as questions, like, free transit across GTA? Question mark. Restore respect for taxpayers? Question mark.
Oh, he ran.
I love respect for taxpayers as like a policy.
All right, this guy's pretty hardcore bike sell, but also kind of pretty hardcore schizo.
Wait, we're at 88.
Yeah,
Oh, we're getting close.
yeah. We don't have that much left. But we're putting this guy like
2 out of 10 for bikes, maybe minus 2, -3 for sanity. Like this is the opposite of what we had before, where the ideas are like pretty sane, even sometimes well-read ideas, but the idea of redoing democracy and policing in 3 years is insane in itself.
yeah.
Right. It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, Rakshani Sivaneswaran.
All right, couldn't find anything.
Okay. Next up, Erwin Snidesons.
All right, city planning, Wi-Fi on the TTC, and oh, I loved this one.
Whoa.
Badges to people who do the right thing in tough situations on the TTC.
Like a medal system for TTC.
Yeah, I love this. I love this. If I do something good on the TTC, I want to get like a little pin. I think that would be so cool. I want to ride the train with a bunch of badges and have people feel safe around me. Public-private partnerships to develop housing on unused land. I think I talked a bit about public-private partnerships a year ago. Replacing LRT with buses. Congestion fees at peak hours. This is a really big talking point with city planners in North America, in particular, which I find weird, but it is interesting. So yeah, at some point maybe I'll do a deep dive. And better separated bike infrastructure near highways. So I think this is just kind of like, you would have bike lanes on arteries, side streets, you can just do whatever. It's kind of, saying like we need bike highways so that people can directly replace their commute with a bike ride, which would work together with the congestion fees at peak hours and really incentivize biking. So we're pretty high up, and this might be like a 10 out of 10 bike sell. Social goals, reducing property taxes, providing off-grid education resources to parents. I don't really... What is this? Do you guys know?
Whoops.
No, I have no idea what this means. I think he means like homeschooling support.
Okay. That was my immediate thought, but I wasn't sure if like Shrey might just have an immediate opinion or something.
No, I don't know what that is.
All right.
I do highly recommend though taking a look at his website, Bennett, if you have a chance. Sorry, I gave the wrong link. This one. I've never seen this before, but it's cool. I think
I'm a cuber.
What the fuck is this? This guy is a schizo.
How to cube? Who cubes? Cubes are us. Cube cards.
Oh my god! What the fuck is going on? All right, this guy rocks.
Ooh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me more with a picture of like, it looks like a priest.
This guy's so funny. All right, so put this guy at like -10 bike sell and then like -7 schizo.
I'll put negative.
Wow.
Not as far as Filter Cruz, the guy with the.
This website is wild.
Anyways, what are we giving this guy out of 10? For
All right, one second.
No, but he's not that schizo. It's pretty sane.
I give a 4 out of 10.
okay, this guy is
For, like,
pretty
an
schizo,
overall.
Shrey.
What, like...
Oh yeah, vibes. I wrote Cold War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll put like -3.
Okay.
-4, sorry, you said.
Okay.
And
Next up,
-2.
Sandeep Srivastava.
Srivastava.
All right. People lost their jobs, no jobs, medical health issues, got kicked from landlord, no money to rent apartments.
Oh, so true.
City planning, dedicated bike infrastructure and reaching net zero by 2040, widening all major roads and more subways. So this is like a Texas play where it's like, we want more of everything. Social goals, public daycare, property taxes below inflation, cut red tape to get Toronto back to work. Buddy, most people never stopped working. Like, when did people stop working?
Now,
And then a 4-year tax freeze. So this is just like, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna nuke the budget. We're gonna build all of every type of infrastructure, and we're not gonna get any income while we do it.
what's that?
Vibes wants to build everything everywhere for everyone and eliminate all income to do it. With a sub point that just says "fuck off." This is the point where I was starting to lose it as I was doing my research. I give a 0 out of 10.
You got some interesting stuff for like traffic lights. Really goes into deep dive on traffic lights.
Yeah, this guy seems like intent on being perfectly balanced in car cut bike sell. He's like, we need more bikes and subways, but also more cars.
Yeah, that's like a perfect 0 there, but because two extremes come together.
Yeah, and he's like an anti-centrist for bikes. And then for sanity, this guy's probably below 0, right?
Definitely. The 4-year tax freeze is fundamentally just a crazy idea.
Yeah, let's drop revenue to 0.
Yeah,
No, tax freeze, not like eliminate tax. Tax freeze. So it doesn't go up or down.
Okay. Put this guy on the schizo, some negative number.
I'll put like negative.
When he says tax freeze, he doesn't mean they're just like, we're not gonna do it for like a little bit to address something. It's just keep it where it is.
Yeah. Tax freeze means keeps to where it is. That's what.
Okay.
That's the for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Next up, the Zoomer candidate, Meyer Strauss.
Strauss. City planning, I got nothing. Meyer is definitely a real man and not 3 raccoons in a trench coat is funny. Social goals addresses issues including raccoons, weed smell, God, labor, street preachers, hipsters, and use of the word muck. Says that it's too expensive for some people to live. So he's going to make sure he works hard so that it's too expensive for all people to live.
This guy's like a joke candidate.
He's 18 years old, named mayor. Said to be a good mayor, you need someone named mayor.
Yeah.
Says as his credentials, Rhino Party Prime Minister of his high school club. He starts his video with the definition of a city.
Yeah, he's a joke.
18-year-old bozo. What was it? Says that.
Oh, he's from Reach on the Top.
A mayor, like the city, is much larger than just one person, and as such, the mayor should be of greater size than a regular person. I thought that was hysterical. The video slaps. Funny guy. Like, you're 18 years old. This is good shit. Like you're doing good. You're doing good. You're on the right path. 0 out of 10, but keep it up,
This guy, we're not even going to put on the schizo axis because he fundamentally does not actually have a platform.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like, oh, he's a little crazy, buddy. He's 18.
Yeah.
Like, that's just normal human behavior.
Mayor Strauss, if you're listening to this podcast,
nice.
You're doing a good job. Next up, Wei Zhen Tang.
I was gonna say he's on the Reach for the Top trivia team, so maybe.
Oh hell yeah, Wei Zhen Tang is there.
Wei Zhen Tang. Who want to be mayor of Toronto? Who care Toronto most?
Is that a quote from his website?
That's a direct quote. I couldn't really navigate anything. The only goals listed were signing up, and just about everything else was in, I believe, Mandarin. I'm not 100% sure. So I couldn't really get much further, but thought it was worth it to address that point. So we'll just move on.
No. This guy is the extremely wealthy Ponzi scheme guy. He's the one. He's the one who's like, if I'm correct, he's the guy who's running as the Chinese Warren Buffett. If it was on his website.
Oh, that's hype.
Yeah,
Alright,
he's a
well,
Chinese Warren Buffett, and he's also famous for being banned in both Ontario and Nova Scotia on the investor markets.
Holy fucking base.
so good.
But also, we don't know anything
Convicted
about his
fraudster Wei Tang.
we don't know anything about his policy though, right?
Well,
Yeah.
no, I mean we just know he's a Chinese Warren Buffett, and that's his book, by the way. If you want to buy, called The Chinese Warren Buffett.
That's fucking hilarious. All right, well,
Maybe this is where we learn.
we're not putting
We'll
this
bring
guy.
we'll bring this to the books.
We're not putting this guy on the axis, but yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to bring one more thing, where even though the Ontario Securities Commission has confirmed that he's been charged with fraud, he has fought back and is saying that the OSC is anti-business and harms investors. So he is fighting back right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Look, we wish him the best in his battles.
Yeah. Next up, Mitchell Toy.
All right. City planning, public housing, and rent to own. Social goals, land back, getting rid of slumlords on Indigenous land, supports UBI, support for disabled, going after greedflation, raising corporate taxes, addressing media fear-mongering, and direct democracy, and just has like a bunch of writing prompts, kind of like the Print House, where it's just like shit that they wrote at some point. It looks clean, but it looks clean like a what's the thing called, write freely kind of look. It's not really like, it could have some more aesthetics to become an actual platform thing. So I give like a 2 out of 10 for just generally naming a bunch of social goals and a couple ideas for city planning, but there's not much.
This guy's got some schizo heat. Trees are social beings who even do non-beneficial nutrient exchanges with their offspring. Recent research has shown fungi and plants use mycelium, the nervous system of mushrooms, networks to communicate. Rodents and other mammals like raccoons deserve our love, support, and help. True, since we are responsible for occupying and disturbing their cycles. I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, he's got like a pro-trees rights thing, but like not from a perspective of environmentalism, but from a perspective of they're conscious and alive.
Now, we can't go
First
too far.
fight at 5 years old against another child who used a slur against my cousin who is mixed.
Interesting.
That's crazy, dog.
All right, so this guy is definitely leaning towards bike sell pretty heavily, but also a benign schizo, I think.
Well, he's a member of the Communist Party.
Yeah,
so we can't say too much. And he was on Kathleen Wynne's advisory board somehow.
Why?
Wow.
So, when he was in his 5th year of high school, he apparently was on her student advisory board.
Okay. Yeah, we'll put this guy slightly schizo, slightly bike sell.
-3 and then 3, or -3 both.
Yeah.
What do we have in favor of bikes that much?
Yeah,
I mean,
actually, yeah.
A lot of this stuff is like, like
it gives the vibe, but that's only enough for one. You have to say like free TTC if you want to get two.
He does say free TTC.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
I just missed
removing
it then.
fares from the TTC removes fare evasion and removes tension from impoverished Torontonians.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Next up, Reginald Tull.
All right. City planning, working with nonprofits to make affordable housing. Oh yeah. This one was good. To get traffic off the Gardiner, start a ferry service.
Yep.
A toll for people driving into Toronto, better bike lanes, but also banning e-bikes from bike lanes. Expanded TTC, but also more of I forget what they're called, the TTC cops.
Special constables or something.
Yeah, something like that. Opening things up for more tow truck companies, which is hysterical. Greener parks. Yeah. Social goals. Hold landlords accountable for bad conditions. More jail for fire alarms and job training when you're in jail. More police in the streets. Peg city worker wages to inflation. Having 2 more festivals. has a lot of pictures and, generally seemed like a happy guy. I give like a 2 out of 10. Some of these ideas are just like weird. Like ferry services are not known for their ability to transport lots of people quickly and efficiently.
But can you imagine a ferry from Toronto to Oakville with stops in Etobicoke, Mississauga? That's like fantastic.
It's just, yeah, it's like now you can take 2 hours.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like a super
instead of
relaxing.
like 2 hours in traffic.
Honestly, I would rather have like a ferry commute of 2 hours, right? Where it's
I
like,
think I would rather that because I could chill, but
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I'd also rather have a train where
Yeah.
it could be half an hour and me chilling.
You're seeing it wrong. You're seeing it as a way of transportation. I'm seeing it as a small cruise I get to do.
yeah, it's like a little luxury trip before the workday.
You're right.
Okay, schizo, sane, bike, sell, car cuck.
Where do we put ferries in a bike sell car cuck?
It's
Oh
like
my
an
God.
unknown element. It's like a
Yeah, it's like a wild card.
Yeah.
It's like getting a joker when you're playing poker.
yeah.
What do we put for that? Negative, like more towards public transit, I guess. So that's
I don't even know, man.
Well, he wants
Like,
tolls on cars from outside Toronto.
I guess the question is, would it be a drive-on ferry or
A
a
bike only.
walking ferry?
Who knows?
Well, it's tolls on cars, so he's definitely anti-car, at least non.
Okay, so we'll go 1 towards bikes.
And then he seems pretty sane. Just seems like a normal guy running for mayor.
Is a ferry to get traffic off the Gardiner really sane?
That sounds like the kind of thing like a sane boomer would have.
Oh,
as their
you're right,
first
you're
idea, You know?
Yeah, someone who likes boats would be like, "Yo, just put a boat; it'll
Yeah,
help."
Yeah.
Didn't he say something about bike lanes though?
Do they?
I swear he said.
Oh yeah,
something like,
better bike lanes, but also banning e-bikes. So let's go to like 4 for bikes.
Yeah, he's good with.
Why would you ban e-bikes?
So he's good with bike, but not all types of bikes.
Yeah,
Maybe he thinks
it's just
of
so weird to want more bike stuff and then ban some bikes.
Well, you could probably see it as going too fast, or more like motorcycles.
All right.
So sorry, schizosanity.
Yeah.
Slightly negative or slightly positive.
Slightly positive for sanity. Solidly bike sell.
-4 for
Yeah.
bikes.
All right.
Sanity.
Next up is Jeffrey Tunney. This
This
guy has a hilarious quote on his website.
Mr. Tunney's hands came from a set of great-grandparents that everyone in Toronto prior to 1980 had a glass of milk in anywhere of the city's restaurants.
Great quote. What are you talking about?
I read this and like it feels like it makes sense, but when I actually read it, I can't really figure out what it means. Once I am in office, my team will begin its work by going over the budget, stripping the budget.
Okay.
So that was another thing. City planning, better city and park cleaning. Cool. Anti-litter. Social goals, awareness, and naloxone, naloxone,
that's the,
whatever.
That's the fentanyl thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just making sure I'm pronouncing it in one of the 6 ways that people probably regularly do. Call center for those using dating apps in case someone goes missing. What?
I guess he thinks like people are getting kidnapped going on dating app dates.
Yeah, and then wants to make a call center for it. Like, don't you just either call police because someone's been kidnapped? Like, the kidnapped people can't call into the call center.
Yeah.
They're being kidnapped.
I think it's supposed to be like your friends call it if you don't return from a Bumble date or something.
Yeah. And then no property tax increase. He just kind of, I said, personal, very brief, just kind of talked like around everything, but never really getting anywhere. And this is one of the first people that didn't really feel personable.
Oh my god, his about page is the wildest one I've seen so far.
What is it?
Like, so under voluntary and current ventures, he talked about his education. Mr. Tunney's education is quite mysterious, as he got private teachings by professors at the top universities in the world.
What the fuck? Okay, this guy is like...
Yeah.
This guy's like a stealth schizo. Like, he's
Yeah.
insane, and then you dig even a scratch below the surface, and he's he's crazy.
Government success. Mr.
Sorry,
Tunney has
go.
done a lot of covert operations with the government, international governments, to reduce the amount of drugs being trafficked to high schools in New York.
Wait, this is. Oh, what's the guy's name? Who does the martial art? Steven Seagal.
This guy also owns like a cleaning business, small guy cleaner, and the icon for it is awesome. I'm gonna share this with you guys.
He produced a 4-hour movie, apparently.
Dude, this is literally just like Canadian Steven Seagal.
Do you know who? It's Bennett. You listen to music from a different generation. Do you know who Anne Murray is?
The name sounds familiar. I'd have to know what songs she's written.
Because apparently Anne Murray talked to Mr. Tunney, and Mr. Tunney gave her an idea that led to being the #1 pop song in the entire world.
Oh, she's from like the 70s. Yeah, I don't really know any of her stuff.
Apparently, he helped her write that song, which was now #1 in the world.
This guy is just like a compulsive liar.
Yeah.
And
all right, so what? This guy's got to be like a 1 out of 10, right?
You're dead on.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 baby. Let's go.
Also, for saying schizo, this guy's pretty schizo.
Yeah, that's at like a -9.
Yeah.
yeah, but that stealthness was incredible.
Yeah. He's a very high functioning schizophrenic.
And what do we say about the bike sell car cuck spectrum?
Pretty neutral, probably. Like he doesn't really seem to care about it.
He's 0.
He's too busy living in like his own world.
He's too busy in covert education from different people.
Yeah.
Next up is a guy whose email is socialistmayor@kirivadivelu.
Yes, it is.
Kirivadivelu.
All right, so I remember this guy. His website. Come on, buddy. Like, socialist mayor gunning off of that, and your website just does not look good.
Well,
It's
that
too good,
actually
right?
that is in favor of his Marxist credentials.
Yeah.
Have a shitty
In
website.
theory, it is. Having a shitty website is a real classic for them types, but like, you know, man, you can do this.
But it's not like
that
HTML
hard.
only, right? Like it's beyond only
Yeah.
HTML.
It has some CSS.
Went too far.
All right, so city planning, more publicly owned housing. Socialist policy, giving the city for the right of refusal. Socialist policy, free public transit and expanding active transport, and parks over parking lots. Social goals: repeal the no camping bylaw, vacancy taxes, public land ownership registry. Bam, with the socialist stuff again. Fixing schools, food for all, another socialist policy. Public grocery stores, that's another socialist policy. Defunding and disarming the police is generally in line with socialist theory. Spending money on ways to make people not turn to crime in the first place. Again, socialist theory. Economic democracy, which is like worker co-ops and shit. More socialist theory. Personal, socialist. Website, hurts to read. His chart of socialist versus incumbent versus wannabes is a thing, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Vibes.
Wow.
Let me read. I have a paragraph on vibes. Yeah, like it's something that really, you know, challenges a lot of the base of how we do things. It's general socialist stuff. He touches on everything and has a solid plan with like at least research behind most of it. I gave the plan itself like an 8.
Okay.
He does have a 12-page explanation of what socialism is for anyone who's interested.
Well,
Yeah.
why don't we do a theory review some other
Well,
time?
we'll get to the theory night, in which case I'll just do like Understanding Socialism by Richard Wolff or something, and then we'll come back to this guy.
So he did misspell neighborhood. He used the American way. So
Oh my god.
So,
It's over. He's down to a 2 out of 10 now.
so what did he say for his?
Oh yeah, I think this guy also said he like was this the guy who said he's really not like he knows he's not going to win, but he's just trying to get all the ideas out there more.
That was a queer trans officer.
Yeah.
Lee Carlton. They had some stuff like that.
All right, so this guy's pretty sane and pretty strongly bike sell, I think. For the access.
So I'll put his not like 10, 9, 10, so like Sandy. Like he seems sane. Yeah.
He's got some like kind of
Energy.
Yeah, but also like his ideas of socialism seem to be very like didn't read the theory, is just going on vibes.
Yeah. Like
that.
I'd say like maybe a 7 for
Yeah.
sanity. Also, like with the website, give it a color palette. Like it doesn't have to look beautiful, but even if it's like a pretty raw website, give it a color palette that works. Like
It's a
these things are pretty well done. Like we know them. We know CSS themes pretty well at this point. You can just get something that looks a little better.
Fair. Okay, and then for bike, Sakar, he's very pro bike. It's
Very bike.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
-8, -9.
10, I'd say. 10.
No one is close to Phil Cruz who wants to get rid of gas stations. So
yeah,
But-
-9.5.
But this guy
9.5.
does say just get rid of all the parking lots for parks,
okay.
which is a close cousin to 9.5.
9.5. Okay.
All right, next up, Jack Weenan.
Couldn't find anything but we
Yeah.
his money.
He's his thing is on Twitter. He has 21 following.
Also, he has one post which links to a dead link. Yuan Qian Wei.
Couldn't find anything.
Jody Williams.
Nothing for city planning. Social goals seems to be an activist for environment and healthcare. Every part she has a store, and everything is just called "I'm a product," so they didn't never change the default values.
Oh, okay.
They have a megaphone picture, which does go hard. Wants to address things in ways raise awareness. But like, if you're running to be the mayor, you're going to be the mayor. You're going to be in the place where you can do things. You don't need to raise awareness anymore. You can just start trying to do things. So, good vibes. That picture with the megaphone is just so hot. Like that's just straight heat. And then good vibes. Not mayor vibes. Also, can't be 100% sure this person exists.
There is a picture of her. I have found a picture of her.
Is this one picture, or is this like we can find them?
There's a candidate debate which happened called From Debate at the Top, which is what the dead link also talked about. And there is a picture of her as well as some of the other lesser known people who are debating, such as Chris Guy.
Nice.
Okay, so Jody Williams.
So this person does seem to exist.
Yeah.
What did you give her out of 10, Spencer?
I gave a strong 0.
Okay. And then Schizo.
Yeah, good vibes, but nothing really to be a mayor off of.
Bike Sell Carcock saying Schizo. Does she have anything that he...
Environmental activist would push slightly towards bike.
Yeah.
And seems pretty sane.
Yeah, put her like -1 and then like, I don't know, like 6 or 7. Okay.
6 or 7, sorry.
Right, 6 for sane, I guess.
Yeah. Next up, John Winter.
Oh, Shrey, what were you saying?
I don't think she's... I don't know. There's just so little about her on the website.
Yeah, that's true.
The website seems kind of messed up. I feel like I'm getting the same vibes as the lady with the housing. This bill is nasty kind of.
Yeah.
So I was thinking more like a 4.
Sure, we'll do it.
All right. Next up, John Winter.
Nothing for city planning. Social goals, lowest tax rate possible. Increase funding for libraries, education, and childcare. Working towards net zero. Maximum prices for landlords is an interesting policy. Replacing police with expanded TTC security and defunding the police is a thing. Personal philanthropist. I got a book on this coming up. Harvard is mentioned 4 or 5 times before things get started. Says he'll take no salary. It's like a bit pretentious with all the Harvard shit, but does seem to care. And there's not really anything for city planning, so I gave like a 2 out of 10.
He's a very smart guy, right?
Not enough to really give us any like Saint Schizo, Bike Sell Carcock stuff.
Yeah.
Well, he's from Harvard.
Yeah, that's
from Harvard.
That's all you need to know. Next up, Natalie Jian Yi Yan.
Oh man.
All right, so 5+ hours of video with
How's she
minimal written policy surrounding them. Spare policy for Hamilton, where she was against LRT. Okay. So, social goals: bring back traditional Chinese medicine.
Based.
Personal: lived 30 years in China and 30 years here. Cried when talking about poverty and wanting to give back, which was like emotional and kind of like adorable. Does struggle with English pronunciation, which is like okay on its own, but when you're running for a government position, it's gonna be really rough for you. I didn't really get much into the city planning because 5.8 hours. If everyone did something similar to this, I did the math. I would have spent 600 or so hours on this project if everyone went about it this way. And like, she wasn't planning on running for this election. She was planning on going for the next one. So this was kind of just like out of pocket. The opportunity presented itself earlier than expected. So just figuring out the system, I guess. Of course, she doesn't know that 102 or 104 people or something are gonna run. But like, I can't watch 5.8 hours of videos. I spent 3 days on this shit. Like, I can't do another like 6 hours just for one candidate. So yeah, from what I saw from the videos, I spent like an hour and a half on them. Seemed cool. I liked her. But like 1 out of 10, I can't figure everything out, and no one else will. One of her videos. Okay, I'm just talking. One of her videos had 26 views, and I think I said this at the start. Was like, there's more news stations than that have reported on the race. So like, no one's looking at policy. No one's looking at this policy. Yeah. Someone had drama though. Someone had drama. And that's what we got to get to. That's how we bring this back.
What?
Someone had no. One of you guys had drama where it was like, come on. Someone had dirt on her.
Someone had dirt on her?
Yeah, one of you guys. I swear to God.
It might have been Shrey, but that's our last candidate.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember too much. I just remember that she was like, oh yeah, this one. Okay, my apologies. The
okay, I found it too.
She's guilty of misconduct for in 2018, so she was suspended actually for traditional Chinese medicine.
Yeah, which is why we need to bring it back. Was because I guess she killed it, and then she sued 19 people or something, and then lost.
Yeah.
Which is just wild. She's been ordered to pay costs of $65,000 for it. 5 years later, that suspension hasn't been served, nor the costs fully paid. It's not looking too hot.
Yeah.
It's not looking too hot.
Anyways, in retrospective, that's the complete list.
No. Where we have to rate her. So, Natalie.
I gave her a 1 out of 10. Based on the 19 lawsuits, I'm going for like, and running on bringing back Chinese traditional medicine. I'm going like 6 out of 10 for insane.
I was gonna say -4 or 5, to be honest, but
yeah. And then city planning, there's nothing, so I guess like 0.
Yeah.
And that's the list.
That's the full list, ladies and gentlemen.
So we have our winners, which my winner was Chloe Brown with Gru in second. Shrey.
I mean, I from the big ones, I'm a huge fan of Mitzi Hunter. If it's not for Mitzi, then probably Chloe Brown.
Nice. So that's our top 2. And Bennett, did you pick anyone out other than Feng Gao that you would vote for?
I mean, I can't even vote in this election, nor would I if I could. I mean, like, this just seems. I guess I would vote for Chloe Brown if I could vote. You know, Gru is a pretty funny like second vote that I would do.
Which one was Gru from here? Oh, that guy was great.
Yeah. Now, who was our most schizo was Feng Gao, right?
Yes, that was
by far. By far.
Definitely an 11.
But yeah, the election, when is it? Is it the 22nd? 24th?
28th.
28th. I thought it was the 24th.
Damn, so we got time.
Anyways, thanks for joining us, folks. If you made it this far, You're
Hey,
now
let's look through the scores.
what?
What?
I want to do an overview, like the graphs we made. And all.
Well,
The grass we made?
the
Graph.
what about
graph.
it, Trey?
So
No,
how
we just have to post it. We just have to
well,
post
I'm
it.
definitely gonna post this on Code Monkey Cafe as well as with like a regression line and a correlation. Like,
Oh,
Yeah, I'll post all of this on the cafe as well.
yeah,
All of my notes.
perfect? And we'll put this as one of like the images on the YouTube video for anyone who wants to see a visual.
yeah. Well,
Alright.
I've been streaming the graph the whole time.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah, so
So how long has this ended up being?
we'll find out. All
Just
right.
a quick summary. It's been a good few hours. Thanks for anyone that stuck with us. You probably shouldn't have. But it's been good. I'll catch you next election where all three of us will be running. We want at least 200 candidates. I think 102 is a definite uptick, but we want to keep the exponential trend going.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for sure. All right. Well, see you next time.